Excuse me. All right. I said, hey, how are you today, bitch? How you guys doing? We're going to get back to this. Hopefully it works now. Mother effer.
Days original, and it was like I think in the range of 2 to 3 weeks.
Listen, bitch.
So that's scary.
You're dealing with neuropathy. And did you just say that it's gay? Because during Pride Month, bitch. I hope that's not what you said. Anyways, you have pain and pain flares. I'm not a doctor, but most likely because you're 600 pounds and you have type 2 diabetes, which causes extreme nerve pain. It's called neuropathy. My dad deals with it every day. You need Lyrica or gabapentin. Yes, they are habit forming, but they help a lot if you take them like you're supposed to. Okay? So I don't know what you're. Go to a doctor. Because if you went to the ER right now and I'm sure had your blood sugar checked, they'd probably admit you because you don't take care of your diabetes, and taking expired metformin is not going to help. For real.
That's not. I want this a little more spicy. I'm not going to use this whole chili packet. I am going to add a little bit.
You are a chili packet.
Because this one's pretty hot. A little more spicy. I'm not going to use this whole. Right. Definitely keep your medical stuff closer to your chest. That's why
you are a chili packet.
Because this is not religious, but I keep in my prayers. Please pray for me. Right. Definitely keep your godly accept that energy.
All right. Everything is working now. And I'm making sure because I'm watching it on my motherfucking bullshit ass motherfucker. I think I accidentally erased it.
You can frankly kiss my ass.
Shut up. No, I didn't. Who can kiss your ass?
So the instructions for this specific ramen say to take all of it, mix it in the bottom of the bowl into a paste, and then mix the noodles in once they're cooked. And then I'm craving, like I was saying this last time, I ended up making a soupy ramen because I used the Ichiban ramen instead. But I've been craving like a saucy ramen. So that's what we're going to do here. With all those vegetables with it. So and I'm gonna do some more of the eggs.
You are an egg. So
protein. But, hey Jess. Hey Brooke. Yeah, I haven't had insurance since 2024.
You know what, though? I am so tired of hearing this no insurance bullshit when you can go to the marketplace and buy yourself insurance. You make enough money on YouTube. You do not need to get Medicaid, which is free insurance. You make too much money on YouTube. So take your happy ass onto marketplace.com and get yourself some insurance and go to the doctor. Stop fucking complaining about it, because if it's that serious to you, that's what you would do instead of ordering DoorDash or doing fucking what is it? Whatever it's called, Costco fucking hauls and all that shit. Stop doing that shit. Pay for some fucking insurance, because I know you make enough money on YouTube, because I know what we make. And get yourself some insurance. Stop this bullshit. I am so fucking tired of hearing about it. Be a woman and go handle your business.
You're not a liar. Thank you, Bridget. I know I'm not. I'm new to your channel and saw your poolside video. It was real fun. Swimming is great for pain as well. Yeah. Unfortunately, that's the thing that that's freaked me out. I talked a bit about this in Members Only Love. This started after the day in the pool, and I am pissed because I barely did fuck all in the pool. So I'm like, was it because of that?
Your body is not used to exercise like you think. Okay? So you doing your laps were a little too much on your 600-pound body. That's what you did.
Was it just happenstance? I don't know. I don't know. That's the fact of the matter. I don't know. I don't know if it caused it or not. I don't know. It could just be happenstance, and I'm kind of willing it to just be happenstance in my head, because this pain is no fucking joke, and I'm scared because it tends to just get worse over time before it gets better.
Yeah, you got to go to the doctor for your diabetes. But you won't because you're a fucking asshole.
My mom has her own form of chronic pain, but I don't necessarily think it's the same.
You want to sit there and argue about the fact that you don't need to go to the doctor for your diabetes. You're taking care of it. But bitch, it's causing you this much grief. We keep trying to tell you, yet you never want to fucking listen. This is getting to be ridiculous. You think that people on the internet that are doing reaction channels that are saying, hey, you need to go to the doctor, you call that hate. That's fucking stupid. Sorry, I was on top chat. Don't come for me. I'm sorry. Okay? All right. We're back to normal here. Oops. Okay, I get it. I'm live. What are you telling me for? Well, where is she? Is she going to talk?
I don't necessarily think this is, to my knowledge, a genetic thing.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I just wanted to pop on and chat with you guys for a little bit. I might only be live for about an hour or so.
Oh.
I really don't feel good.
Well, if you go to the doctor, you know what happens when people with diabetes do some exercise and don't eat right? They don't feel good.
Because, like I said,
Sorry to tell ya. I know. Holy smokes. Hey, Shay, talking about over here.
hey, Karma.
I'm turning up the speed. I can't do this. All right, I'm going to be doing my nails. Okay? If she talks a little bit of shit, I'll talk some shit back to her. You know what I'm saying? Why is it over there? Motherfucker. Where are you? See, this is the stupid shit you do when you go live. You just walk away, leave everybody sitting here. Who cares, right? Oh, it's members. We just pay for the content. Who cares about us? Fuck us, right? $20, bitch. Listen, Teak. You could be over
No, I
here
don't feel
giving me $20.
So that's shitty. But the nausea. What is it? I pulled it out. You didn't use it.
What, your peep?
Right from my face. Sorry about that. I made sure to eat a protein bar earlier, so that didn't happen.
Did you say this person said pretty nails? Her nails are gross. What are you talking
Pizza
about?
beans.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, guys. I'm gonna have to mute the
I don't know what
mic.
I was talking about. Sorry. I just had a sudden onset wave of nausea that thankfully passed. But I was trying to find my Zofran, and I'm very confused because I don't know where it is. I'm worried I might throw it out. I don't have to use it very often. But, yeah, I don't know. You don't remember what I was talking about because I don't.
I got a cookie. Blah, blah, blah is crazy when Daddy gets home.
I have no clue. Couldn't tell you. Hey Ramona, I'm hanging in there. I'm trying to. Oh, well, last time I saw a doctor, yeah, I was in process actually. I talked a bit about this in members only line, but the short of it is, I was working with specialists and I lost my insurance, and I'm not able to work. Okay.
You know, you want to get in the window now?
No, I can't just die here. You're good.
Okay. I'm sorry that you had to go get smokes, baby. I didn't have the card with me.
It's okay.
Oh, was it right here? The card?
I don't remember. I just left.
Sent me that message.
Grabbed it and took off, huh? I brought home burgers to cook
Sweet.
for tonight.
I just need you to go get that for us.
Do I have to go anywhere else? You're not going to go to Walmart or nothing like that? It was a day bad. It was not that bad, but it was bad at the last minute. It was all slow and cool. At 1 o'clock, once all church people got all bam, they were all in there elbow to elbow and the fucking.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, we got 15 minutes till close. Are you guys gonna break down anytime? Yes, so this dishwasher can get that. You know what I mean?
Hockey don't care. So.
We're trying, Chris.
I actually don't give a fuck. I'm making a peanut sauce ramen. I'm using my Hello Kitty ramen bowl. I might switch chopsticks because I think the main
reason I push and rush these one for. Come on,
the
guys,
ones
get
are
that
harder
shit
on my
going.
hands.
This dishwasher I want to be here
Requires
all night.
more,
Now
like,
let's go.
From my
Homer, what are you doing? I'm making
Okay.
this sandwich. Mike,
These are the matches.
break down your shit, man. Let's go.
So when you
I
just
know.
follow the instructions, like this is what they look like.
I'm sorry,
I got
babe.
20 people that have been here
I
for
want
2
peanut
years. They're
sauce
gonna
ramen.
see what to do.
So I'm probably like, I don't know, good 4 of these.
I know.
Actually, let's start with 2. Since
I know you guys got a couple tickets, but you can take care of those 2 fucking tickets. You clean.
definitely want a third.
Let's get the fuck out of here.
Well,
Making potato salad right now.
they're expecting you, and I'm live right now.
Me too.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys.
I was trying to tell you.
I'm bitching
Medicaid is a
to
fucking beast
people.
in Florida. It's a whole different.
Not bad, y'all. Hope everyone's
childless.
having a great day.
I don't have that many people in here, but
Don't matter. Is JoJo in there? Hi, JoJo, if you are. Oh, hi, everybody. Anybody else?
On the ramen itself.
yeah, that's what I meant.
I like the salt. A little like
Chris will be leaving soon.
Yeah, come on. I just want to enjoy a cigarette. That's all.
Yeah, I know,
I'm
babe.
gonna smoke.
Mhm.
I got my chilling in the car with a roach in there.
I just really want to
That's something. I got you.
go share it with you. But I want a good size one. I'm serious. I can't. I need it. I got shit to do.
I don't care.
Oh,
I wasn't gonna take none of it.
yeah, you are.
No,
Yes, you are.
You want to take it to tomorrow or something. I don't know.
I got the diarrhea and I'm giving it to you. You're taking it. I'm going to kick your ass open.
It's Sunday.
Well, it's already open, but you know what I mean.
Is there any money for gas or no?
I knew you were going to fucking say that.
It's only midday, but still, like,
Right as I get back on the thing.
How did I not see a single Father's Day post on TikTok? How did I not know that? I knew it was coming up. I just forgot to set like a reminder about it. Oh, God. See a single Father's Day. Jerk.
Well, I fucking told you saw how much was in there earlier. I said 13.
This ramen's not going to be pretty. Like,
You know, what did you think?
But I'm gonna go ahead and poke this.
It's Sunday. I didn't get paid today.
Like part of the sauce. Yeah.
Like I thought I was.
Another. Oh yeah, I made perfectly runny eggs today, guys.
There's
like
three or
it's a fucking vibe.
4 something on the cash card too. So there you go. Bye.
I think today's it's gonna be pretty sure. Come on.
Oh.
Oh, that's good. I will call him later.
Yeah, that would be nice.
He's probably not working now. But knowing him, he's probably gaming.
Like I know I have the gas. I'll make
these eggs came out perfect. Like
I said
like just the whites are cooked.
on the cash app card, and there's 2 something on the time. You're fine.
I only heard $2.
We're still using the same chopsticks after complaining. Thank you, Dizzle. Yeah, I'm hanging in there.
It's in the cash app card.
These carrots
What?
are really good.
I said I just told them what's on the cash app card.
Wonderful.
I think part of the nausea was because I needed to like eat.
There's like 428 or something on there.
I have a lot happening in my life right now, like a lot, and I know that.
Shut up, Rosie. You ain't got shit happening in your life. If you have to take a shit, you're sitting there. I have so much going on, you guys, and then you'll cry on the toilet to us. I don't want to fucking hear it.
Sometimes, people can be like skeptical of that, but it's true. And oh my God, I wish I could talk about it because every time I think about like.
Oh yeah, you got some bullshit going on. If you come out with a fucking weight loss show, they might as well pack up and leave because just like Amber Lynn, you have no desire to lose weight, it seems. The way you just come in the kitchen and eat whatever the fuck you want and act like an asshole about it. You have no discipline, it seems like. You are very, very crude about stuff. I don't see you ever doing what's needed to lose weight. I just don't. I really don't. It pisses a lot of people off. But then if you have some stupid ass reality show that you're going to be doing about losing weight, I hope it helps. That's all I can say. I really do. I don't have any hateful thoughts for you in that way. I hope it helps. But at the rate you're going now, they might as well not even come.
Like what I want to talk about, that's what pops in my head. Because
your latest video, Anthony,
there's just like a lot happening behind the scenes in my life at this point. And I want.
You are doing great. They said they watch you all the time now.
My last one?
I want to yap about it.
Oh, really?
Usually you watch it like halfway through and then we'll like fall asleep.
Well, I guess what I do want to say.
The whole thing, she had us glued.
That,
she loved it. I love it.
I'm really excited for this year.
She does in the beginning.
For the first time in a long, long time.
Awesome.
Supernova. Love you, Rosie. You're beautiful, good person. Jonas Innovators. Love from Germany. Thank you so much, Nova.
Thank you, Anthony.
I hope so. I like to bitch at people online. It's fun.
If you think my boyfriend is a misogynist, you're
fucking what was your last video?
Well,
no, it's just
yeah, I had a
bigger picture stuff that I can't share without sharing things that should be public.
I don't even know who you were talking about, but I'm like,
probably Rosie
it's
then.
Just, like,
yeah.
Crazy to me. I've seen a couple of things referencing that, and I just ignore them because when I really love someone, it's really easy for me to get fierce, and I don't need to be putting out that energy and all that stuff. But my boyfriend shared a thought.
My boyfriend.
I didn't agree with.
Did you know she's got a boyfriend?
I didn't agree with his take there, and said that, and we also had more conversations afterwards about it, you know. But it's wild to me. It is insane to me that someone just making a statement that they think a certain trait is masculine is misogynistic.
Oh my
That is just an abuse of what that word means. Like, good
Are we
God.
back at this
That's crazy.
again? Are you fucking joking me? Come on, man.
It's not called ramen.
Y'all
It's
can't
called
take no damn.
my go.
Y'all can't take no damn criticism whatsoever. Are we back at this goddamn shit again about the fucking masculine and feminine bullshit? You know what? What your boyfriend said was wrong. Okay. He shouldn't have worded it. And then he kept sticking his foot in his mouth by going on and on. Oh, well, I'm talking about the military. Made it worse. There are so many fucking women in leadership roles in this world. The prime minister of Japan is a woman. Okay? So I don't want to hear your bullshit. If he can't take criticism, well, then fuck him too. He can't hear that and say, oh, you know what? My bad. I apologize. That was wrong of me. I didn't realize how I said it. I do apologize. No, not you guys. Not you guys. God for fucking bid.
Ring? My go ring? Like on the package? Did I still have a package? Thank you for informing me. Yeah, my go ring 5 noodles. So okay, this isn't ramen. Okay. Thank you for educating me. I didn't realize. I mean, I do see it clearly on the ramen. Or on the noodles. I just assumed because it looks like a ramen packet. Well, that's good to know. Yeah, I don't agree with it either. And we had a more in-depth conversation about it after that. Because frankly, he was just talking from his own perspective. He's not used to an audience critiquing his thoughts and opinions, right? So he was just talking off the cuff.
Oh, well, you know what? Get over it, dude. That was like how many streams ago? And he's still butthurt about that shit? Come on, man. Grow some fucking balls, both of you. You sit on here and whine and bitch and moan about all the people that say stuff about you. You won't apologize when it's necessary. Both of you need to fucking take a look in the mirror and realize we aren't perfect, so we make mistakes. Therefore, if we do, we should apologize and be accountable. But no, I don't know what it is about you two. You guys have this fucking wall up where it's so hard to do. It's bullshit. It's bullshit because the rest of us on the fucking platform, we all do that. We all take accountability for what we do. When we see people like you that can't, it pisses us off because we sit there and take accountability and are sorry for the things that we do that are wrong and the mistakes that we make. Why the fuck can't you? You're holier than thou? It's a pride issue.
I'm going to think through as well, which seemed kind of clear to me after our further conversations about it, because I don't even think leadership has a masculine or feminine quality to it. It's just a trait. Like, that's my stance on that. But to say it's misogynistic is crazy. That's crazy to me. That is just people pearl clutching to find
to the definition of what misogyny is. Yes, it was misogynistic. It doesn't mean that your boyfriend is a misogynist. It means what he said was misogynistic. Hello.
Drama to incite in my content from a nothing burger of a situation. That's all it is.
Maybe it's not a nothing burger to somebody. Maybe somebody really took it to heart. You don't know. But here we are having to coddle your fucking boyfriend because of the situation instead of you guys just apologizing and being done with it.
And it's exhausting and stupid. And I just have no patience for it.
Well, we don't have any patience for your bullshit either. But here we are. People sit and watch you and talk to you and deal with your shit, but you don't pay attention to no criticism. Nobody can say shit to you. Rosie's perfect. She's a princess. She sits on a pedestal. Oh my God, 600-pound fucking queen of whatever. What the fuck is wrong with you, bitch? Seriously. I don't think it's autism. I think there's a little something else going on up there. Maybe you're micro-deleted like Gypsy fucking Rose. I don't fucking know. But you need to get it checked out. Look at you acting a fucking baby about this shit. You know what? You're privileged ass living in your fucking parents' house. The only thing you have to whine and bitch about is you make my boyfriend sad. Shut up.
Hey, Kat.
I have a really strong critique for this
Thanksgiving
woman
and sweet
because she
potatoes.
really just, she brings me to a point where I'm like boiling over. Do you understand? And when I get to that point, it's hard for me to control what I'm saying. You know, I think she understands what that's like, only I have a little bit more sense than she does. You know what I'm saying?
Was there ever a follow-up addressing it? Like, directly after it happened and people started having problems with it, I think I briefly talked about it. Or I was on a live with him, and I think we talked about it on a live a little bit.
How come? I don't even know what we're watching here. Bobby J, I'm where are my comments? See? Quirky Love Rosie. Let me explain to you. This is Quirky Love Rosie, and she is a bitch on the internet. She cannot take accountability for anything. She is constantly saying and doing things that are bullshit. She fucking claims that she has all, and she doesn't. So bad. Always, I'll go nuts. Chris is tiring about it.
Yeah, I'll be back.
Father's Day on you.
Thank you.
Okay. Come on, asshole. Oh, wait.
Okay, you know what, Pat? Can you? I'm gonna ask this genuinely. He's not avoiding lives because of anything like this. His workload is crazy right now.
He's got school. We understand.
I think he blocked the wrong person. Hold on, let me unblock this person. I don't think they should have been hidden from what I'm seeing here. There we go. Okay, that was fixed. Cool. So, okay, I want to ask. Well, no, I want to ask this person who said that. Hold on, I'm gonna unblock them too. Hold on. So, Pac, I want to ask you, in case I'm wrong. In case I'm wrong, can you I'm gonna ask this genuinely. Can you explain to me how it's misogynistic? Let me start there.
What do you mean? How is it misogynistic?
For a second, just in case.
He is a man who automatically assumed that because leadership seems masculine to him, that's how he would refer to it. When leadership is very much feminine as well. That's how he's misogynistic. Girl, what the fuck? Go back to school.
My own bias is in the way here. I would like to, I'm going to genuinely ask you that question. How? Because I don't see it that way.
How is it misogynistic? Oh my God. Girl.
Yeah. No, I know they are.
You okay, Bubby? You hangy? Bubba, did Daddy give you chicken?
What she's doing.
Oh no. Baby boy, did Daddy
doing.
give you chicken? Did you eat chicken? Come tell your mama. Did you eat? Good boy. Did you eat some chicken?
Misogynistic by classifying
Daddy bring you chicken? Daddy didn't bring you chicken?
Yeah, which is why I talked to him private more.
Huh? You hangy?
About
Your
it.
mama see. Your mama see, my
I
boy.
without educating and advising patiently.
Did Daddy give you chicken? Let's go see.
Further conversation about it. Hey, Crimson.
I don't think he did he? Daddy don't give you chicken?
I disagree. I'm open-minded. I'm opening my mind to the concept of being wrong. I'm asking. I'm asking a genuine question. I'm willing to learn, and I'm willing to see if my opinion on that is wrong. Because I think a lot of people don't see leadership roles as gendered, and so maybe him saying he sees it as a masculine trait is making it gendered and it seems misogynistic. Like just inherently viewing it from a gendered perspective would make it misogynistic because prioritizing that trait in men over women.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's a couple to think about. Okay. Well, I'm not going to go into the private conversation that I had with him without asking him first, but I'm just going to say I talked to him about it because I didn't agree with him. Right, and that's what I'm saying, and that's the thing is he wasn't saying women can't be leaders. Like that's what I was kind of hung up on and was confused about. Hold on. I got a text and I agree with it anyway. Let's see. The statement itself was so misogynistic, even if he was. Because I mean, clearly it's easy for men to have a bias and not realize that like they're holding an opinion that benefits them, right? That's the point. Good point. I'm gonna think on that. Shit. Yeah. Good point. Right. So if you talk privately, I think the audience was left with the stance that he's last said publicly since he's been on your lives and channels for the question because it was unsaid. That's fair. It's okay. I just don't have much of an appetite because the pain. I'm just trying to pick at it. It kind of pushes the inferiority myth that women are less capable of leadership. I wouldn't say it's abusing terms to say misogyny, even if it wasn't recognized at the time. It's okay to learn and grow. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I think I was quick to be defensive because I knew his intentions were, but that doesn't change the impact. And I say that all the time, right? It's uncomfortable, to be honest. I gotta think on that. I think my point was, I know he didn't mean it that way, but again, that doesn't change the inherent message, does it? Yeah, it's okay to call it an idea for being misogynistic. It opens someone's mind to why that thought is that way. He's just really busy. Like right now, he doesn't have the time to like deal with all this. So, like in terms of like online stuff, like coming on here and like dealing with all that. So, on this, and I want to look up a few things and just kind of chew on this because I think I might have been quick to be defensive. Exactly, and that's the thing. If you guys didn't see our private conversation, that's kind of how it went. Like his perspective shifted a little once he talked it out. He was just talking off the cuff, right? So, and when I was editing, I did not think it was that big of a deal. Clearly, so I decided to not cut it out because I just thought it was innocuous. So, Yeah. Leadership is powerful, not masculine or feminine. I agree with that. Yeah. I agree with that take. That's, yeah, 100%. But in that video, I was just giving him the space to talk and like share his viewpoints. I wasn't thinking about like hyper censoring him, you know. So. But in that video, I was giving him the space to talk. Yeah, I agree, Niles. I think he's smart enough to recognize that him saying leadership is masculine is a product of patriarchal society. I don't think he meant or actually caused any harm. Exactly, Niles. Thank you. And he's young too. Yeah, he's about to turn 26. So he doesn't need to be educated on things that he hasn't learned or experienced in life. Yeah. He was talking up a 13-year-old child. Yeah. I can see your message, LM. I'm not responding to every single message, right? I'm doing this again. Words matter, though. I agree. I think he just shared an opinion that he didn't fully flesh out, right?
I don't think he's misogynistic. We're still talking about this shit.
I need to eat a little more. I don't want to be honest. I don't think he's
what he said is misogynistic, not him. Get it through your fucking head, dude.
Oh, the punches that bomb him.
What are you doing, Mimi? You want to get in the window?
Sometimes I did just take a goodies powder.
Girl, you can't.
He was military, yes. And that's kind of what the conversation stemmed from, and that's what we talked a lot more about privately.
I cannot believe we're still on this fucking subject, dude. Then you and your boyfriend need help. So, you and your boyfriend need to stop acting like babies about shit. Holy fuck. Grow up. Ignore it and move on. Girl, you are 34 years old. Seriously. Privileged ass fucking woman sitting there whining and bitching over, you guys made my boyfriend upset. Stop it. Calm. Just grow up.
So that's why, again, we talked about it. I love it, I'm on man. Hello, girl. About the Escaping Paradise, it's already out. Okay, I was in it for very briefly.
Yeah, very.
Yeah, that's why I've been focusing on eating the egg and the edamame for the protein.
They took a lot. I bet you they took a lot out that you fucking said on that stream or in that you know what I'm saying, in that docu-series, because I know for a fact that they wouldn't have flown you out there and given you all those amenities so for you to just not have a part in it, but because there were so many comments on that fucking trailer, they thought this bitch is going to cause problems for us. So they took your ass mostly out of it and labeled you a feeder expert. That's crazy to me. You're a eater-faism fucking expert on there. That's crazy.
The ramen is for fun. And we'll play the vegetables here. Oh yeah, I don't know about next live. Guys, I do have.
You know what I'm gonna do, guys? Real quick, I'm pausing this because I have news. Okay, I hopefully will have my live stream. You know, it won't be going out like this one did a million times. But I got a makeup palette in my birthday stuff, and it's like got every color of the rainbow on it. So I thought for Pride Month, I'm going to do a look with every color on live stream while we talk. That sounds like so much fun. I gotta get ready for it. I'm gonna do it in the next couple days. I gotta do it before, you know, the month is over.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it's out. Yeah, I was in the commercial. Yeah, it's on HBO Max for Investigation Discovery. It's out now. Yeah.
Thank you for the likes on my stream. I appreciate you.
How the fuck did y'all are exhausting? Yeah, the documentary was well made. Yeah, y'all are exhausting.
Why
These
are we
people from reaction
exhausted?
channels and shit, y'all are fucking exhausting.
Because
I
we
just
hold
got
you
here.
accountable for shit?
I
Oh,
reevaluated my
sorry.
opinion, and I want to look more into it.
Ridiculous ass bitch.
Y'all are just so being disgusting. Yeah, so are you, Lala.
I don't even see chat at all.
Are you the girl I went to high school with, Kay?
I'm gonna redo my makeup after this for my videos. But meow meow.
You know, my hate's gotten a lot worse. That's why my mom's pulled back.
Meow meow.
Interact in chat after all the
Sorry,
real life
guys.
talking I deal with. I talk about that a lot, Taco J, and about how I manage my pain and accommodate myself. I talk about that a lot in my lives. There's a little bit of like extra sauce in this bowl. That's really good. Awesome. You're a new watcher. Thank you for being here, Taco. Eat a few more carrots. I'm probably gonna call it because bug. I'm just gonna throw this stuff in here and eat this for my next meal.
Yeah, in the window. You okay now? Your hair's all fluffed up.
Hey, Chelsea.
Sheesh. You okay?
Okay. Thank you.
There
I
you
appreciate
go.
that, okay? Yeah, I know who you are then. Okay.
Leave Bubba alone. Be
It
a
took me a
good
second to
kitty
register.
boy. Okay? Be a good kitty boy. Are you mad? Are you mad? Why? I gotta get you a cushion. I know, you don't want to sit up there without a cushion, huh? You need a pillow? Here, Mew Mew.
Hey, gamer girl. Yeah, I went live almost an hour ago. I'm probably about to wrap up actually. Thanks. I really
Hello?
feel good.
You want a pillow?
No, he doesn't like
Yeah.
the Indomie. I guess I'll start calling them noodles. The Indomie noodles.
Lay down, Mew Mew.
I guess it's not ramen, so I've been calling it the wrong thing all week. All right, sounds good, Kay. Thank you for being here.
Lay down. You don't want to? You want it down?
Hey, Sierra. Congratulations on your pregnancy. Excuse me. Thank you, user. Thank you, Carly.
Well, fine. Don't sit on it then, bitch. Your chat's not even moving for me. I don't even know what you're seeing. Too bad. I wish I did.
Because I need non-urgent triage care. I need like specialists and doctors. She said I'm coming. It would be a waste of resources for me to go to the ER. So I'm not going to do that. Not unless I have a reason to.
Yeah, and guess what? If you'd go to Marketplace and pay for insurance, you'd be able to go to the doctor, but you won't do it for whatever reason. You know, but you'll rack up Klarna debt from DoorDash. I don't understand.
Which, if I have a reason to, I will. Okay. Fridge.
Yeah, she's a creator. But she'll be done in a minute, and then we're going to go ahead and react to the Gypsy Rose series of bullshit she's got on her YouTube.
Call her a bitch because she is one, bro. I didn't share everything. I've been better, gamer girl, but I'm here.
Chris brought me cookies.
Yeah, if I were to go to college, my default answer is a psychology degree. I'm just not sure how I would utilize it. So I think if that becomes something that I actually am able to do,
First you should lose some weight.
Time to research and decide like what route I would want to go in, like why I would want to go to college and what my end result I would want to be is. Yeah, I know I can do college classes online. Yeah.
Or
I would
I don't know. You know that Obamacare type stuff that changed it to Trump Care. I don't know if it's Marketplace. I thought it was, but maybe I'm wrong. Oh no, not Facebook Marketplace. I'm sorry, that's not what I meant. That's funny. Whatever you go to for that Trump insurance, you know what I'm saying?
It's like a money thing too. There's a path of which I'd be able to do that. So you're very intelligent. And it comes across very strongly. Okay, let me think. I could end the live now. I'm done eating for now. I don't fucking want it. This is actually gonna go in the microwave to later. Okay, like I'm eating enough. I'm going to college, so I have to have a job where I get money, where I get paid. Yeah, I get that marijuana. Okay. I'm gonna clean up real quick. I'm gonna go grab a soda. I'm gonna wash my hands. I think I want to try. I don't feel like putting anything on my face.
I'm not gonna watch this whole thing. She's boring the hell out of me.
You might regret it. But I want to feel pretty. Hey, Brittany, I saw you chatting in another live, and I didn't see it until I rewatched it. Yes, I'm still with my boyfriend. Yes, we're great. He's the best thing that's ever happened to me. But I have a BA in psychology. There's not a whole lot you can do with it, just that. So I'm in grad school. Okay, because that's the thing. Is like I have a special interest in that, and I'm not. I kind of like. I'm deciding like if I'm gonna go to college. Like soaking in the pool definitely helps with the pain. Yeah. Hey, Amanda. And like especially if I'm just floating in the water, it helps relieve the pressure in like all the joints in my body.
Now watch. She brought up that Brittany person and said, I saw you in another live. That means that Brittany girl is about to get yelled at for being in someone else's live stream because according to Rosie, if you watch her and you're in her live streams and you go and you watch a different live and say they're talking about her in a negative way, she will fucking block you in a second. It's so stupid. She's so childish. But anyway.
And that's wonderful. I love that. When I'm just like floating in the deep end. But when I'm like walking around in the water, it's better than doing it not in the water, but I can still have like soreness and stuff. I'd love to know how you met your man. He reached out to me. I have talked about it before, but he actually emailed me. And
yeah,
I was a little skeptical.
Get this. Right after she got an email from a problematic person who was threatening to interview her essay abuser, okay? And because he didn't believe it was true or whatever. And that really bothered her. She did a whole live stream about it. I mean, even Zachary Michael did a live stream talking about it and, saying that it was weird that this guy was doing that. Everyone in his chat when he went live was telling him not to do this email, not to do this interview, but he still did it, right? And it wasn't but like maybe a week or two later that Remy messages her an email and says, I watched your Are We All Insane podcast episode where she didn't even let that fucking podcast lady get a word in edgewise. This bitch was talking nonstop all about herself. And the weird thing about it was that she was talking about very, very deep, like rooted subjects that would, traumatically affect you. And you probably wouldn't want to just be spilling to millions of people on a podcast. But there she was, and she was almost like smiling about it and everything. And it was really odd. Okay. I'll just mention that. But anyways, her boyfriend apparently saw her on there and reached out to her through email about wanting like to spark up a friendship. Now that's what he said that it was for him at first, was a friendship, right? Well, now all of a sudden they're dating, and he had a boyfriend because he's bisexual. He had a boyfriend at the same time, so he either cheated or broke it off right away or whatever. I don't know exactly why or whatever, but He's now with Rosie, and he's 25. She's 34. Now, I'm sorry, but if some rando messaged me an email and said that he saw me on there and was intrigued and wanted to talk to me, my mind would immediately go to, oh my God, it's probably that guy trying to troll me now and blah, blah, blah. But no, Rosie was like, okay, yeah, let me fly to Texas in a month to come and see ya. Like, really, bro? That's why you get easily fucking got, bitch.
Skeptical at first, but I agreed to like a conversation with him. We were just gonna keep it short because he had something he wanted to talk to me about. Shit had reasons to reach out to me.
Oh, I'm talking. I'm
Nothing you do
talking to
like running today
myself. It's all right.
or anything, and
It's crazy. That sounds so weird.
talked about because it's like his personal business and stuff. Remy and Rosie seem perfect. Well, we're definitely not perfect, but we are, I think, perfectly imperfect for each other. Kind of a vibe.
Could have fooled me
And I
sometimes.
think, or like that's like token lyric that we love, perfectly misaligned. You know, I love that. And but we are, I think, perfectly imperfect for each other. I hope I see him soon, Lex. You seem so much more happy. We are with him, absolutely. Tell Remy to move in already.
Let's go snipe Gypsy, or not, let's go find Gypsy Rose.
We have a lot of moving parts in both of our lives and things to figure out.
Oh no, I want YouTube.
So yeah, the wins and the hows and the wheres of our future visits together will not be discussed online. Doing that last time went horribly, so I will not be discussing. I'm gonna grab some nail stuff. I'm gonna sit and try to chat with you guys a little
what is
longer.
it? Something in the chaos. Magic in the chaos.
I love your dragonfly shirt. Thank you. It's a night shirt actually. Like I don't wear this a ton because it's a pajama top, but I was like, I'm showing up the best that I can. And
Oh. No. I heard she was doing some kind of series. I don't know. I don't see it. Whatever. Let's see. I don't see it. I heard she was doing some kind of series. No, she's been posting. Where's the damn? Where? This ain't it. Mew Mew, stop. No, she's been posting. Where's the damn? Where? This ain't it. Mew Mew, stop. Is she doing this series in her shorts? It sounds funny. Is she doing it in her shorts? I don't know. 42,000 subscribers. People, what's wrong with you? People, what's wrong with you? Huh. Well, there's got to be another YouTube channel because I was watching. Anyways, whatever. 2 months ago, whatever. Oh. Anyways, whatever. 2 months ago, whatever. Oh. "13 days ago? Son of a bitch." I bet they did. I have to watch this, you guys. I've been trying to figure out this whole Mike Stanfield bullshit. Morgan?
Happen. I think the initial reaction is that Gypsy's been lying to everybody. But
this is actually kind of the first time I've been honest. Besides being honest, my attorneys.
I'm having.
I've been completely honest with them. So.
My name is Mike Stanfield, and I was her attorney during the case.
A lot of this information had either Mike or Christy. I saw it.
And there's strong.
No, there wasn't. Mike, you put all that together, and I have proof too that you did that. You put all that together after the crime. She didn't even know about it until you came along. And you took her case right as she got arrested. What the fuck is up with that?
Which was not justified nor excusable, but yet account for those mitigating circumstances.
It seemed like taking her out of the equation completely was the only option.
She's tried it twice before, and she's only mentioned one of those times in the media.
Some underlying unknown etiology to explain her symptoms.
For those mitigating circumstances.
It was either her or me.
Are you happy that your mom is not here to abuse you anymore?
Yeah, I was excited.
Did you feel a rush of joy?
It would come in times of happiness, little spurts of happiness. It just feels good to be honest.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Well, it would appear that Gypsy Rose Blanchard is trying to launch her latest venture into scamming public.
So
Obviously,
nice,
she's been working on this for a little bit of time. And, honestly amazes me the fact that she's still doing this. And people say, if you just stop talking about her, she will go away. No, she literally won't.
Right.
I can promise you, I would be willing to put money on the fact that she will never go away if she has one person believing that she was the victim in all of this and that everything that she said was true. Because that's the thing. If she did not stop going public and doing this whole public persona, this little celebrity style of behavior that she's done her entire life, if murder and being labeled a murderer in prison did not stop her from doing that and making her go and live a private life, there is nothing on this earth that literally will. The moment that people that are trying to expose the actual truth regarding Gypsy Rose Blanchard, that stops, then she wins. And she will continue to do it. I mean, she's still continuing to do it, although she still plots and plans and tries to get, every single content creator trying to reveal the truth taken down. And I always see the comment like, how if Gypsy was guilty and she was lying about everything, then how did she get a plea deal? Why did she only get 8 years? If she was really guilty, she would have spent, her entire life in prison. Well, first of all, I mean, you probably have too much faith in the justice system, but second of all, we know exactly how, and even more so because we now have the documents that show the conversations between Gypsy Rose Blanchard's public defender Mike Stanfield and the DA that was prosecuting her case, Dan Patterson. Obviously, they were both featured on the documentary Mommy, Den, and Dearest while this whole thing was being worked out. And since now we've got the conversations that were happening between them, it shows a lot. And the only way that this happens, the way that Gypsy Rose Blanchard is able to get a plea deal the way that she did, is by lying, by withholding information and manipulation. That is exactly how. And I've said it. I've said it before. I said I thought, he must have withheld something from the DA to get them to do this plea deal. And I genuinely feel like now we have even more proof, especially now that we've got some FOIA documents, courtesy of Into the Weeds, that show those conversations between Dan and Mike Stanfield that lead us to here we are today, where Gypsy's still profiting off of her crime, still pretending to be this little celebrity that she was doing the exact same thing beforehand. It's still going on and people are still falling for it, but just in a different way. So we're going to get into all of it. But of course, before we do, you know how it is. Like, subscribe, make sure notifications are turned on as well. But let's go ahead and get into these recently released FOIA documents between Mike Stanfield and Dan Patterson and see why we are still here talking about Gypsy Rose Blanchard to this very day. So something that's pretty common amongst everybody that is essentially involved in this case in one way or another, they all seem to have a commonality, and it is the fact that they are not aware, even now to this day, they're not aware that Gypsy Rose Blanchard actually does and did suffer from a very rare genetic chromosome microdeletion. It's like news to everybody that ever paid attention to the case, that worked with the case, involved in it. However, we know that's not a surprise to Gypsy, though. And, that's, again, one of the funny things about it when you start looking into it. All of the things that she actually tested abnormally for, you can't fake. Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny how it works out? And there's a reason for that. There's a reason why that none of the documentaries, none of the interviews, nobody asks about that whatsoever. They've maybe mentioned it in passing as of like, oh, she said this, this, and this, and it was just totally crazy and off the wall, and we didn't know what Dee was talking about. But never actually in the way that it really happened, in the way that Gypsy knows that it happened. And we know that she knows that because she texted her friend Aaliyah right around the time that she was diagnosed with this rare chromosome microdeletion to prove that she was aware. Oh, there's the answer. There's the missing piece of the puzzle. None of them get that. And there's a reason for that. There's a reason why that didn't come out. And there's a reason that it probably never would have came out had Gypsy and Christy not been greedy and signed away those medical records and the right to do whatever Fancy wanted to do with them, which led to them actually being released to the public. Nobody would have known. Literally nobody would have known had it not been for their own greed. When you really stop and think about it, I'm sure Gypsy regrets that to this day. And the thing that like a lot of people can't seem to grasp is if you take away the medical abuse, because that's been proven to be false. If you take it away, is she still justified to be able to murder her mother?
No.
Take away the medical abuse. No. She's not. There's no way you can spin it. There's no way. The whole reason that she got off on this case and that she got that plea deal was because they said the medical abuse was so egregious that Gypsy, you know, her teeth literally fell out of her head. She was, you know, poisoned by her feeding tube. You know, her mother was injecting her with all kinds of things. Take it away, take away all of that, and then you're left with literally nothing. Yeah, maybe Dee Dee wasn't the best parent, and I've said it before, I wouldn't model my parenting after her. Obviously, she raised Gypsy to be able to take advantage of the system. So we're gonna get into these FOIA records. I want to show you exactly what was in here. There is a set for Gypsy and Nicholas both, but we'll start off with Gypsy's, and I'll show you exactly how this happened because I've said it before. I genuinely believe deep in my soul that Mike Stanfield either knew about those records that showed that Gypsy had a chromosome deletion and he just hid them, or he played dumb about them, or I mean maybe it's possible he genuinely didn't know, but
he honestly should have had a medical professional look at them and explain them to him if he was going to use her medical records as some kind of like defense, you know what I mean? So I mean that would have been the smart thing to do, but
I don't really see that being a possibility because obviously Gypsy and Christy had them to give to Fancy, so therefore they had to have a copy of them. That's all I'm gonna say.
She found out in 2011, so I am positive that those medical records definitely had the microdeletion in there.
So let's get into them real quick. I'll read through and skip through some things because there's a little bit of repetition in there, but for the sake of showing it all, you know. So in the first file, it's just pretty much all of the letters that were sent back and forth, pretty much requesting the discovery. So all of the items that the state had in evidence at the time. And this is coming relatively shortly after the murder happened. So this is showing what was pretty much sent over to Mike Stanfield from the state. It says 1 DVD of Facebook records for Nicholas Godejohn, profile, Nicholas Bella Rose, Gypsy's trip, Snow Gypsy Blanchard, praying for Dee and Gypsy, Facebook records, Christian dating for free, Greyhound video, surveillance from the days in, 14 discs of Walmart videos, and some more interviews, 1 through 5 with Nick, and then some with Gypsy, internet history, Gypsy's phone, all of the things that I think we have majority of these things, but I do find interesting is that what we don't see on here at this moment in time are any of the medical records that were sent or any of the medical records that involved Gypsy Rose or her, you know, life in Louisiana or Missouri. They're not sending any of that to Mike Stanfield because obviously Mike Stanfield had to go and request those records himself, and he was obligated to show those to the state once he got them. I'm not sure if that's something that they would have done independently just to make sure that they got everything or not, and they are just relying on honesty. Who knows? But either way, it's not listed here. Case summaries, you know, reports from all of the people that were, you know, all of these things that we've pretty much already seen. Just contact with Mercy Hospital, application for the search warrant for.
I'm glad you're here though, Bobby J.
Cox Health Systems, medical records search warrant. So it's just copies of the search warrants and things like that. But the reason why I don't believe that the district attorney or those working with him actually took the time to look through those medical records is solely because of the communications that they had back and forth, where Mike Stanfield is saying that he's sending over the medical records that he got and he's leaving out some pages that don't really include anything of importance like blood pressure, you know, and he's assuring that he's not hiding anything at all from the district attorney. However, since we've never heard about the chromosome microdeletion until Fancy released that paperwork, it does beg the question why there's not been a single documentary ever, no interview ever, until it was released publicly, of course, on one where she mentioned it with Kale Lowry. But prior to that, nothing about this chromosome microdeletion or any of the records that show that she actually had abnormal results related to this chromosome microdeletion. So let's look at their communications back and forth. It is a little bit confusing because there's some repetition and the dates are kind of out of order, but I'll get it sorted for you. So the first letter that appears in this communication back and forth between...
And mind you, these medical records prove that Gypsy Rose's microdeletion was pretty large, actually. And even if you have a small portion of the chromosome deleted, you can have, symptoms of the deletion. She literally has all of the symptoms. So it could never be said that she does not have this microdeletion. She for sure does.
Mike and Dan Patterson is on July 21st, 2015, and it says Gypsy continuance. So he's wanting to kind of set up a continuance. It says, Dan, before I go talk to Gypsy, would you be willing to provide the discovery you have so far in exchange for our agreement to reset the preliminary hearing? That gives me something to go to her with, and it may help me and you in our discussions on an appropriate resolution of this case. So this is July 21st, 2015. So we know that Gypsy was extradited back to Missouri from Wisconsin around June 19th, 2015. So that would have made this whole conversation happening like less than a month later, which I don't know. I guess obviously not an attorney, so I don't know if that's relatively quick to already be negotiating a plea deal, but...
Yeah, because he had her locked and loaded as her attorney when she was arrested. All because of the fact that she knew a guy from VisionCon who was already being charged with several counts of SA, mind you. He told Mike Stanfield to take her case. Therefore, this is all, in my opinion, for entertainment and informational purposes only, of course. But I'm saying that, what was I saying? Shit. Anyways, yes, Mike Stanfield became her attorney on June 15th, 2015, which means he became her attorney the day she got arrested. That's how he started the whole plea deal thing right away and got it really quick.
Very possible. I would think that wouldn't even give Dan and his side enough time to really look into whether or not she's guilty or she had been lying about anything. So then it skips to May 4th, 2016. So quite a few months later, almost a year later. This one says, Dan, sorry it has taken me so long to compile everything. What I will be providing is a large stack of medical records. Each individual record is paper-clipped separately to make them easier to read and for you to scan. I highlighted the information I believe is most relevant and in
mind you, this is the man, Dan Patterson, who is coming up for re-election that same year.
many cases wrote next to why that information is inaccurate and put the true fact. Also, I have personal statements from both Dee Dee's sisters, Claudia and Dorla, Rod and Christy Blanchard, a family friend from Louisiana, as well as some photos showing Gypsy when she was younger. Several news articles the family located in Dee Dee's stuff dating back to when Gypsy was younger and various other times. My thought was, I would turn these over to you and give you a couple of weeks to digest what's in them. Then you, me, and Clade have another sit down to discuss questions you have and fill in the gaps. We talked about trying to write out a timeline and explain everything, but given the scope of the time frame, I figured that would take me forever and I would invariably miss something. Having a sit down with you after you read it all seems to be the simplest procedure. I will have everything brought to you today. There was one thing that we found when we went to the Dee Dee was capable of. Dee Dee's bedroom was chocked full of junk. In a binder stuffed under the bed, we located a blank prescription pad that was stolen from Children's Mercy Hospital in Kansas City.
And we have no proof of whether that was stolen by Gypsy Rose Blanchard or her mother. Mind you, Gypsy Rose was going to that hospital at the time where she was seeing Dan Glidewell. I think that she took the prescription pad because she was going to try to write prescriptions to get her little boyfriend pills because he was addicted to him. That's why she stole them from her mother and went to his house, ran away to bring him those pills because she would literally do anything to make sure she could keep her man.
It does not have a particular doctor listed on it. It would have allowed her, however, to obtain any drugs she wanted without having a doctor double check. To illustrate why this is so dangerous, in the mail that arrived after the police were at the house, there was a card from a pharmacy thanking Dee Dee for the donuts that she brought them and telling her how wonderful she is for caring for Gypsy. As far as we could tell, Dee Dee filled prescriptions at numerous pharmacies and she kept records of what
No, she did not. There's records of all the pharmacies that she went to. It was one pharmacy. That's a lie.
she filled at and what locations. I included a photo of one such list so you can see it. In the discovery, there is a photo of the closet in the hallway with all the medications in it. This was interesting to me for two reasons. One, there were tons of medication in there for Gypsy, which was on top of the hundreds of bottles of meds in the bedroom.
Which were all over the counter, and the meds that were in that cabinet were for seizures.
Two, the house was an absolute pigsty. However, the medications in that closet were separated and lined up. The only thing in that entire house that was organized was the medication closet.
And at the time, Dee Dee was sick and Gypsy was a bitch.
I will continue to look through things, and if I find something that I believe you need to see, I will send it over, but what I have compiled are the main items that give you the picture of what was happening. So here is obviously the prescription that we also recently seen, apparently that they just gave back to Gypsy to have. That, you know, again, there's no evidence that she ever wrote a fraudulent prescription because, I mean, really, Gypsy wasn't on anything crazy. And there's no proof that it was actually Dee Dee that took it herself. But of course, he's not going to frame it that way. He's obviously her defense attorney. But, you know, I do find it interesting getting an inside look into the way that attorneys conversate back and forth with, like, the DA, even though, like, they have opposing sides. It seems like it's very, look at what this is. Do you see this? The only thing you need to know about this is that this, and this. Like, I mean, I'm sure he could formulate his own other theory, but, like, I don't know. Because, again, I'm not, like, I'm not.
Yeah, he's, like, trying to persuade his belief of what happened. You know what I mean?
Not an attorney, so I don't know if that's, like, typical or not. I'm sure it is, you know, as far as providing, you know, information and stuff, but... And then it skips back to that other day, first email that I mentioned. I don't know why. You would think that these would be sent in order, but so far nothing's been sent in order. I don't know why, but you would think they would keep it in order. But
we're talking about people here that this is... Hurry up and get it over with. Oh, I paused it and her eyes are closed. That's so funny.
Wants to, like, so I can have Gypsy to tell me something or whatever. He says, and Mike responds, just out of curiosity, why the change all of a sudden? You sought me out about the continuance just this morning. And I don't know if there's a response to Stanfield to Dan Patterson. It says, Dan, I've been contacted by an Erin Carr from HBO asking me to do an interview for a documentary. She says that she's going to be here during the time of the next pretrial and that she is interviewing you and Sheriff Arnott. I would just like to verify what I'm being told before I decide what to do with it. Thanks, Mike
Make
Stanfield.
sure his narrative
From
goes
Mike
along
Stanfield
with this.
regarding the camera in court. So it's kind of responding to this email. Okay, that makes sense. It says, Aaron, here's a request for a camera in the courtroom for a hearing on January 11th. Thank you. And Mike responds, no objection. So then this email, they're kind of trying to set up a time to meet. We're in January of 2016. It says, Dan, I have not heard back from you regarding my last two emails. Mr. Baker and I are interested.
Wouldn't it be nice to do an interview with Dan Patterson? You know? I've thought about that because Mike Stanfield, you're an idiot. But I'd like to have an interview with Dan.
Sitting down with you and speaking to you or speaking with you. We just need to find a date. I have time next week except for Monday. And he says, I apologize. I was picking a jury yesterday for a week-long trial next week. Could we meet the week of February 1st? Forgot that you are handling Huckleberry. That will work. Could you send me the photos that Hancock took of Gypsy and go to John's writings in the jail, please? So that's just more of him requesting. Monday looks like a holiday. I keep forgetting about that. How about the week of the 20th? Or
it's always funny when you are working in the jail, and letters will come through that clearly have, you know, talk in there that they should not be saying in their fucking letters to each other. I mean, sometimes they get taken and they won't even give them to the person locked up. Or they will, and they will just wait for the letters to kind of compile for a minute so they can collect evidence against you. And then boom, they strike, you know, like a snake in the grass. But no, that is how it works. And it's funny because people don't think, and then they'll be on the phone or they'll write letters and they'll say stuff that is like, huh, are you stupid? Or the women call the men that they're supposed to have a no contact order with, and then they go to court and they try to claim that I don't talk to him, blah, blah, blah. And they literally have either the recordings of the phone calls or the actual letters, because people are stupid and they think, oh, they're gonna find mine. Yeah, are you kidding me? Those fucking guards, when they're bored and they want to sit there and read all the letters, that's what they do. And then they make fun of you about all your nonsense. I'm not joking.
Thursday 21st. I only have court at one time each of those days. Today's not good for me. How does Monday look? Okay, so here they're still trying to organize another meeting, and it's to Dan from Mike Stanfield. It says, Dan, Clayton and I were wanting to have a preliminary sit down with you to discuss Gypsy. Would you be available to meet today? Today's not good for me. How does Monday look for you? Monday looks like a holiday. Keep forgetting about that too. How about Wednesday the 20th or Thursday the 21st?
Oh, God,
I only have court at one time each of those days. So here is another email from Mike Stanfield to Dan Patterson where they're discussing the medical records, and he's going to send them over to the DA to show what he has because they're obligated to do that in case it gets brought up in court. You know, that's pretty normal. But here's what it says. And this is April 7th, 2016. Dan, most of the records that I received were provided in PDF format. I am not able to single out pages in a digital format. What I am doing is printing off the pages that I believe are relevant. Most of the time, the pertinent information is contained in the doctor/nurse's notes. Most of those records, however, also come with pages of test results, pulse and BP listings, etc. I don't figure that information is extremely useful in an attempt to cut that down and focus you in on the important information. I'm taking out most of the pages that contain the medical and then highlighting and writing exculpatory notes on the actual pages I will provide to you. I just wanted you to be aware that when you receive these, there will be pages missing. I have not cut out any documents because I believe they are negative for Gypsy. They are simply pages full of unnecessary medical information. The items that I am providing and highlighting, I am making every effort to ensure that you get the full document containing the comments and information so that the context is included. If you would like a complete digital copy of all the records, I will be more than happy to provide that. I just want to focus you in on the pertinent information and make it as user-friendly as I can given the volume of the records.
Oh, yeah.
So how much would you want to bet that
Bobby J, I've been hearing a lot about that. I'm not about that. I'm glad you see that. I really am, because I don't have any desire to go on these panels and flip-flop and act like, because honestly, I'll tell you something. Morbid, he's paid to fucking start shit or do these panels. Because if you notice, as soon as Lifetime went away, so did Morbid. So did a couple other creators. I just know this from observing. You know what I'm saying? And I found out from some people behind the scenes about him being paid by Lifetime to stir things up to get people talking about Gypsy Rose Blanchard. And it's stupid. It's horrible. A lot of creators are doing this shit. A lot of creators are fucking around and like not only flip-flopping, but allowing stuff to happen within their chats and stuff like that is just like, what the hell, with people commenting and stuff. And like, I don't know what's going on with YouTube, but my videos haven't been pushed out as far as they could be, and I'm not complaining. I am very thankful for any view I get. You know what I mean? I don't care. But I will never ever be one of those that gets into the drama. I don't fight with other creators. I don't get on panels. You know what I'm saying? You won't ever see that from me. You'll only see me trying to take down the Rose and get her off social media. That's all I want. That's it. I want, and you know, I'm so tired of it. I go on Reddit and there's a list of ton of comments where people are letting Gypsy Rose have it, but then if you try to talk to AI about Gypsy Rose, it tells you a whole bunch of misinformation. I'd be arguing with AI all motherfucking day, and it's stupid and it pisses me off. All right, I mean I'm glad. I'm so glad that you see that, Bobby J. I really, truly am. And I hope you don't unsubscribe from me because I really love having you here, you know. And you've told me a little bit about things going on in your life. I won't repeat them, but I hope things are better now. You know, I hope you're doing well now. And I really care. Like, I don't know what it is about these creators, but they act like all of a sudden they get this entitlement where they think like they're owed to be used by people. They're owed the engagement that they get from these people. You aren't owed anything. These people watch you, don't owe you shit. Why don't you have a little bit more respect for the fact that you have an audience, you know? I don't understand that. Sorry, I went on a rant for a second. Sorry about that.
That chromosome microdeletion test, the thing that she absolutely 100% tested positive for that wasn't even discovered in the medical community until the year 2008, was not considered pertinent medical information. How much would you want to bet? I'm printing off the pages that I believe are relevant. I don't find that information extremely useful. So he's setting it up like okay, there's just a bunch of stuff that really doesn't matter. I want to help you out. Like, I promise I'm not trying to do anything sneaky. However, we know that he was already doing stuff that's sneaky because when he's even talking record and what it says.
Doctor here, and she's talking about how she has mental and developmental delays, needs assistance. Apparently, while holding her hands over Gypsy's ears so as not to offend history of mental retardation, 7-year-old level per mom. And so this was the one time where a doctor actually put in the record that Dee Dee's got her hands over Gypsy's ears.
He represents it as she's trying to hide Gypsy's ears so she doesn't hear that her mother's calling her slow, but she does it when she's calling her clumsy. If you read the record, you can literally see where he just blatantly cuts out the other part of the sentence in an effort to not get Gypsy to hear when she's literally talking about Gypsy being clumsy, probably as a haha type of joke because Gypsy is probably very clumsy.
Yeah.
So that's Friday, April 2016, and it didn't take much longer. They were already,
and on top of it, Gypsy Rose was fucking playing into that slowness. Okay, she wasn't actually that fucking slow. She was even playing that fucking slowness to her own mother. Her mother really thought that she had those mental delays, like she, acted like she had. I mean, she was still drinking out of the bottle. There was the baby dolls and all the toys in her room all over the place. And there was stuff all over the place because Dee Dee was sick. She probably couldn't clean anymore that much. If you notice past pictures of the house is very clean. Okay? She took very good care of it. But then Dee Dee had to rely on Gypsy and it went out the window. Okay? And then poor Dee Dee, she didn't quite know what to do. She was looking up ways to get her daughter out of the house because of shit going on. And she was sick of it. And she was sick. She probably just thought, I just can't anymore. I've been there myself because I have chronic illnesses where one day you just fucking lay there and you're like, I can't even go on anymore. This is horrible. I'm not saying anything bad. I'm just saying it's hard to, I didn't mean it like that. I'm sorry. It's hard to move. I mean, it's hard to get through the day is all I meant, and, I believe that a lot of stuff that was packed up throughout the house was Dee Dee's packing, or actually Gypsy Rose's packing probably, of all of her things because she was going to move out. Her mom was throwing her out of the house. She even told Nick at one point that her mother was throwing her out of the house. So her claim of being like held captive and she had no way to leave was a crock of shit too, right out of the gate. So, I mean, Mike Stanfield coming up with this fucking Munchausen by proxy and, you know, reading these medical records to Rod and Christy as if they are fabricated or that Dee Dee misled the doctor somehow or whatever. How are they going to know? They're too fucking, you know, Rod and Krusty, what the thoughts are about them. Okay. I'm not going to go any further on that, but yeah, consider the source. Okay. Consider the source. So you were obviously very aware of the fact that you could manipulate their thoughts of what happened, because they're also, it's a very traumatic period for them at that time. And you're coming in there with all this medical information and, oh, this isn't true and this isn't true. Do you think that they're actually even listening at that point? At that point, they're probably in their own fucking head thinking about what is going to happen with the case and how is this all going to pan out, yada, yada, yada. Is Gypsy Rose going to be in jail for the rest of her life or what? Which she very well should be, to be honest with you.
With HBO Mommy Dead and Dearest, and he's already said.
And I think the judge should have said no documentaries, no cameras, no nothing until this case is said and done with everything. The plea deal on and Nick's side and all of it. You know what I mean? Because Nick actually could have taken the plea deal where he would have been up for parole, I believe, in like, I think it was like 20 years or 30 years or something like that. But he refused it, unfortunately. And I don't think the DA was willing to go any further and give him any other options at that point. So it sucks for him that he refused it. But I don't think he even got fucking counsel for a whole month after the crime, where she got hers the day she was fucking arrested. That's crazy to me. You know what? You know what's weird is in the South, your last name, if who you're related to, goes a long way. If they're, I heard that the Blanchards have some kind of monopoly going on there in Cutoff, which is crazy. And I believe that it's possible. Maybe her last name was relevant to Dan, but then again, he was also up for re-election, so he probably thought, oh, she's slow and she didn't mean for this to happen. She didn't actually commit the crime, even though we know she helped, but whatever. So yeah, we'll have him go to jail for life and her go for 10 years. That'll satisfy the community. And they said, done. They washed their hands of it. It's bullshit. You know what I mean?
Setting these things up, and we know he blatantly misrepresented it. So here he's literally saying that, you know, he's going to just cut out some pages that he doesn't feel are necessary or are important. And it would, you know, it only makes sense that none of these people had any clue that Gypsy had a genetic condition,
right,
which led to everything that she was treated for to be valid.
Yep.
To be necessary. Unnecessary medical treatment.
Isn't it crazy,
meaning
Bobby?
That can't qualify as medical abuse.
Fuck, did he get this case so fast? Then I found out, because that VisionCon in that area was a huge thing, and they always would do this thing afterwards, that because they would rent out a part of a hotel, right? And they would have rooms available where afterwards they would party and stuff like that. Well, Gypsy Rose's hoe ass was up there sleeping around on Nick. And there's the one guy, I believe his name was Richard or something like that. Don't quote me. Anyways, he was one of her guys that, you know, obviously it's probably like a kink thing because of her looking like she does, like a child. Gross, whatever. But anyways, he had several allegations of SA that he was combating at the time. And I don't know how their exchange happened, but he had to have said something to Mike Stanfield about Gypsy Rose. And Mike Stanfield was, you know, he was at the beginning of his career. So he was at the point of his career where I got to buckle down and get these cases won so that I can, you know, I can advance my career. That's what I think. That's all alleged, but I don't know if it's true. But I really think that he was trying to advance his career. Dan Patterson was trying to get reelected. And even when you listen to the damn sheriff talk about the fucking case, like he said that all of the evidence that we have compiled from the FOIA documents and everything else, he says that we're just rabbit holes he didn't feel like going down. The laziness within that department is why Gypsy Rose is walking free right now. This is ridiculous. And this is something that should never happen, but it does. And it just makes it look like white people are so much more privileged. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to bring up race, but at the same time, I know damn well that if Gypsy Rose was a little black girl and this happened, she'd be gone for the rest of her fucking life, no matter what. And it's terrible. It's bullshit. The bias in this country is still happening to this fucking day.
No reason to murder for Munchausen by proxy. And that's not the only thing that's different in here, or that's like a red flag in this, specifically between Mike Stanfield and Dan Patterson. That's not the only thing. It actually gets worse because there's a blatant lie in there. But regardless, if you actually stop and look, and I'll show you the ones between Nick's attorney and Dan Patterson, the sheer difference in the style of communication and the way that it's not, how Mike Stanfield's essentially putting the information in the attorney's head, like saying, see, this is why this is illegal, meaning she abused her daughter. He's placing the information there.
He's automatically creating a bias in Dan Patterson, right? That's what he's doing. And then I bet you the stuff that comes from the other lawyer to Dan is very factual and to the point, and we basically need to fry this guy and get him the fuck out of here. That's probably what the other fucking shit looks like from the other attorney, to the prosecuting attorney. But I just think that no matter what, Nick was screwed. Nick was screwed no matter what, because Gypsy Rose was throwing him under the bus. She didn't give two shits about his well-being at all. Not that it probably would have helped, but maybe it would have, if she would have been, a little bit more compassionate about how she gave information about Nick, basically. She was not at all. And that just showed me right there that, okay, her love and her care for Nick Godejohn was bullshit. It was all a crock of bullshit. Because I'm sorry, if I'm with a guy for 2 fucking years, okay, and we have a relationship like that where we're messaging every single day, sending video chats, my heart's going to be broken about the fact that I just got him in trouble like that. With her, it was I want to leave with Dan afterwards. Imagine the fucking pain Nick felt from that alone. I'm not saying that Nick should be walking the earth either. I know he's a sick man as well. Okay. But at the same time, Nick Godejohn was completely manipulated by this woman. He would have never, ever in his life took someone's life if he wasn't fucking persuaded on a daily basis and basically promised that he would be her fucking knight in shining armor over this, her hero over this. It's just disgusting.
Whether this guy actually, I would guarantee you he didn't look at the records. I would guarantee you, because there's no way, if he knew that she suffered from a rare genetic chromosomal disorder and that she needed every procedure that she ever got in her life, which was like 5, then he would know that there was no medical abuse. That was the whole point of it all. That was the whole mitigating evidence. The same words that Mike Stanfield used. There's mitigating evidence, mitigating circumstances that led Gypsy to murder her mother that would make a reasonable person react in a similar manner or make somebody understand why she murdered her.
Honest to God, this is such crap, because Gypsy Rose would have come up with this regardless, no matter who, because apparently she had asked Dan to do this, but he couldn't do it. And then she said, well, I'm obviously, like she said in court, I'm squeamish. I can't handle the blood. But I don't think that's true at all. And then all of a sudden, because of her knowing how autistic people work, she found Nick Godejohn, and she knew just how to start manipulating and grooming him. And it began, and it went on for over 2 years until the crime was committed. Imagine how brainwashed you are after that from somebody doing that to you. You know what I mean? It's awful.
Her mother, leaving out that main information. Yeah, no wonder. No wonder she got the plea deal, because
Redo my makeup.
I would guarantee you that they withheld that evidence, or they buried it at the bottom, knowing that he wouldn't look at it.
Yep.
That is the only reason that she got a plea deal. They didn't address the chromosome microdeletion. And there's proof of that here, because when she was in jail, she could have been retested for it, and they didn't do it. So then it goes back to more messages about the cameras. It says, Judge Holden, I'm sorry about the informality of email, but I'm in the hospital waiting room. I'd like to request a pool still camera, microphone, and still camera for the PTC. It's on Tuesday, April 12th for Nicholas Godejohn and Gypsy Blanchard murder cases. And he responds, no objection, blah, 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 blah. Mike Stanfield, Dan, I apologize for the tardiness of this response. I actually just requested and received a copy of her jail records. It hit my desk Friday, which is why I was waiting to respond. I will have a copy made for you and brought over tomorrow. I think our legal assistants have already made their afternoon run. There are 174 pages of records. It also includes records from Waukesha County Jail. Mike, thanks for the mitigation packet. I have attached a medical release form that I would ask you to consider having your client sign so that I can confirm her actual lack of medical issues with the jail through records and or visiting with the jail medical staff for the purpose of contrasting with the records you provided. So if he never record that showed that Gypsy had a medical chromosome deletion, that she had these actual issues, and they're just testing her in the jail for something that you can't just get tested for in jail, if they wouldn't know to test her for it, that she knew that she had, because she texted Aaliyah and said that she knew that she had it because she was tested and it was positive. You're not faking a blood test. There's nothing that you can put in somebody. There's nothing that you can manipulate or do that would cause her to test positive a genetic disease. There's just no way. There's nothing that would cause that, to the point that they're literally looking at her chromosomes, her genetic DNA, that explain every single thing that she had. Thanks for the mitigation packet. So those are the records that he got. All of those ones that Mike Stanfield picked through, took pages out, cut things out, highlighted, and showed why they were wrong, why Dee Dee lied, how this is medical abuse. That's what he got. Thanks for that. Let's have her sign a release in the jail to make sure that she's totally healthy, as if the jail's really going to do a thorough, in-depth medical evaluation. Did they test her for a genetic chromosome deletion? Doubt it. So that was April and May. So then by June of 2016, Dan, we need to get a time scheduled to meet on Gypsy. It seems that the current fly in the ointment is Clay. The only time that he can meet us tomorrow after 3. I can also do Wednesday and Thursday of next week as well. Let me know. Hopefully we can come to an agreement and close this out on July 12th. Also, Miss Carr, the HBO director, wishes to do an interview with Gypsy while she's here for that July 12th. For that July 12th hearing, she has no idea that a plea may be happening. It just so happens to be the date that she chose a month ago to come and do this. I've been putting this off as long as possible. The punchline is that the sheriff is not responding to her request to have access to the jail for filming. The only other option would be for the judge to allow the use of his courtroom after the hearing. I just wanted to let you know that I was going to approach the judge about this. So that's in May. He says, Dan, would you be in a position to meet next week to discuss her plea again? So May 11th, he says, thanks for the mitigation packet with all the medical records that, he absolutely didn't hide anything in, and he only wrote the important information that he needed to know, meaning all the things that were lies and what made Gypsy's mom evil and abusive, and more than likely didn't include that other stuff, to where he's writing on May 26th, he's saying, Dan, would you be in a position to meet next week to discuss her plea again? May 26th, so just a couple weeks later. So then we get, about a month later, then he's talking about we need to get a time scheduled to meet Gypsy. So they had already arranged the plea and already got her sorted out. So I guarantee you in that time frame, he was not looking at those medical records. He was not looking into any genetic condition that Gypsy had. He wasn't looking at any of it. He got the medical records that Mike Stanfield sent over to him that he self-admittedly cut pages out because he didn't view them as important.
Yep.
And then they got a signature saying that Gypsy says she's totally healthy. I would like to see that too. I would like to know if they tested her for anything, you know, whatsoever related to a chromosome microdeletion that she was well aware that she had. That they were all aware that she had. Because she told.
Sorry, Bobby J. Thank you so much. Carmen is going to pay her a visit. She and Ken are aging like crazy. Are they? Oh, I haven't seen. Did you watch Arnott's interview? Yes, I watched Arnott's interview and I was so upset. I just posted a Gypsy Rose video. It should go public tomorrow morning. Well, it's supposed to. I have it on members only right now. I don't know if you're a member, honey, but yeah. But I can't stand morbid like you said here. Stanfield should be disbarred and Patterson shouldn't be in office either. That's what I think as well. I think that once, and this attorney is committing perjury on the stand, fucking lying his ass off, and nothing happens. Gypsy Rose too, and she literally the defense attorney, because he was the one that brought her to as a witness. He was trying to get her to get in trouble for committing perjury, and the judge kept denying him the ability to call her out on her perjury because of him bringing her in as a witness. What sense does that make? Who fucking cares who brought who in for a witness as a witness? The bitch still lied. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't understand all of these people in this judicial system out there in Missouri. I mean, why are they so amped to cover everything up for Gypsy Rose? That's why I bring up the last name issue, because I'm thinking that the Blanchards there's some kind of like family bullshit going on that goes out a long way within the fucking bloodlines and everything, even into Missouri from Louisiana. And I believe that it's possible that maybe, I mean, I don't know for sure. I'm just saying, trying to come up with some kind of fucking some kind of answer. You know what I'm saying? Because I've looked at all this stuff too, and I just recently did a video, the one that's gonna come out tomorrow. That's another thing. Every time I get an idea for a fucking video, somebody posts a video about the same fucking thing like 2 days before I do. Oh my God, so frustrating. And I don't tell people what I'm going to do my video on. It's almost like we're on the same wavelength. You know what I mean? But Morgan, I love her, so she can do it. But I'm just saying, there's a couple of them out there that I'm just like, bitch, get out of here. It's my shit. But what's fucking weird? I do videos on Gypsy Rose now, and I have to watch a lot of the TikToks about her. But like, I cannot watch a YouTube video about Gypsy Rose anymore to save my life. I don't know what it is. Chris probably loves it, but I can't watch a video about her. I can't. And she just, if she's not getting under my skin, the creator that's talking about her is getting under my skin because they're not getting something right or whatever. Because I'm so passionate about this. Like, I'm sure you guys know because of my videos, but it's stressful. You know what I mean? Oh, by the way, everybody, I hope all the fathers out there and the mothers that have to be fathers and every which way you can think of, if you are a father to anything, a baby, an animal, whatever, I hope you have a great Father's Day and happy Pride Month. I've decided that I'm gonna do that live where I do all the different colors on, we'll say, probably Wednesday this coming week. I will figure out a time, but it's going to be so much fun. I hope, Bobby, I hope you can be there. If you're available Wednesday, let me know. If there's a day of the week that you're more available, let me know. I'll figure it out from there, but I think it's going to be so much fun. It's going to be, because I have a ton of these makeup wipes thanks to a subscriber. They sent me a case of them. Anyway, but I have a bunch of these so I'll be able to have a good old time wiping it off and restart and doing another color. But all the colors of the rainbow, I'm so excited. It'll be so much fun. I love doing makeup, and then we can chitty chat about some things, get a snack, we'll talk, and we'll have a lot of fun. I can't wait. It's like having a slumber party on the screen. You know what I mean? I like it. Sorry, let's get back to this.
People that she had it, and it's right there in the medical records. So he says, I prefer the 19th. My client's father would be able to be present. He's supposed to ship out for the month on the 20th. Handle it for me, but there was an issue that has arisen that it required
the pimp juice. It's so funny.
See, by 1 week to Wednesday, July 20th in the afternoon, or Tuesday, July 19th, but not Monday, July 18th. I will be out of town next week at training. Thank you for your consideration. And Mike saying, I would prefer the 19th. My client's father will be able to be present. He's supposed to ship out for the month on the 20th. And that's where they got that, you know, super sweet moment where Gypsy's reuniting with Rod and Christy on Mommy, Dead, and Dearest, and they're hugging. And it's just like, don't blame yourself, Dad. Mommy was just too good at what she was doing. I didn't know what I was sick, you know? And I don't believe him either when he's sitting there talking about, like, yeah, I had no idea. That was just so crazy that she chose this date. Exactly the day that she's coming, that we've already organized a plea deal. That's crazy.
I made one documentary film I had gotten from one digital media job. And so I flew down to Missouri, and this is about Gypsy Rose Blanchard, which became the infamous case that became the act in my film, Mommy, Dead, and Dearest. And she basically, like, I got to meet with her lawyer, but the lawyer was like, hey, I can't have you talk to my client. And so I was betting the farm on the fact that I could make this film about this person, but I could not get access to the person. And so there was like tens, maybe hundreds of nights. I don't exactly remember, but it was just like, where I was like, what am I doing? Like, am I going to be able to do this? Am I not? And just making the film, I, interviewed her family, which is Rod and Christy, these incredible people. I interviewed, the grandparents. I interviewed her lawyer, and I was back
Bobby,
in New York,
that is so true. At his level of autism, he should have had an advocate, a guardian ad litem, something. That's what I think too. I think that he was very much fucked out of this whole thing. Nobody looked out for him because they looked at him as the monster. Like, you did this, you're the one that, you know what I mean? So they weren't willing to have any compassion. But at the same time, if y'all would have fucking taken the time to watch those videos and have an open mind, because that's what you're taught when you're in the academy. Always keep an open mind. Only follow the evidence. Don't make biased opinions. Blah, blah, blah. They fucking push that into our heads all the time. Yet here we are with an attorney and a prosecuting attorney both having biased views and having closed minds. It's bullshit.
At therapy, and I got a call from her lawyer saying, we are going to plea out. Can you get here by tomorrow? And I told my therapist, I was like, I'm leaving, goodbye. I don't need therapy anymore. Absolutely, I definitely need therapy. And I basically got on a plane, was there at Gypsy's plea deal. She pled guilty to killing her mother and for second-degree murder. And that day,
mind you, the day of her going to court, I can't remember if this was in Missouri. I think it was, where she was literally talking to two inmates while they were waiting to go in for their court date and telling them that her and her boyfriend killed her mother. And it was like, so she acted like it was just, telling somebody they went to the park. You know what I mean?
Interviewed her for 2.5 hours inside the courtroom, figuring out what done. Because, like, once somebody goes to jail, you really can't get access to them.
Dan, my understanding was that you and I were somewhat on the same page as to Gypsy's, quote, involvement in the fraud her mom was committing.
She wasn't,
especially in light of the records I provided showing her mom was doing this when Gypsy was a child. The sheriff's statements leave the impression that Gypsy was masterminding these frauds with her mother the entire time. That is the exact opposite of the discussion you, Clayton, and I had just less than 8 weeks ago. If we are not working towards a mutual resolution, please let me know immediately because I have a lot of trial prep to do then, Mike Stanfield. So then this is June 30th, 2016, and it says, Dan, with the plea being moved up to the 5th, I'm going to make a request of the judge, but I wanted to speak with you first so we're on the same page. I may have told you this already, but Rod and Christy cannot be here for the 5th. Their 17-year-old is having a tonsillectomy, I think, that day or within a day or two of that. They are flying up for the 12th. I'm going to ask the judge to hold Gypsy until the 13th so they can have a visit with her in the same vein. You know, HBO wants to do their interview with her. We have already received a judge's blessings to use the courtroom. Frankly, I think that will cause less of a fuss than the jail. I think it would actually be a safety issue for Gypsy to have to all of that go on in the jail in the judge's courtroom. No inmate will be the wiser. I'm going to contact the judge to reaffirm that he's okay with all that. You okay with me telling him it's a plea, but we're trying to keep that quiet so he knows why all the changes? Plus, he's going to need to be prepped for that so he isn't surprised and say something with all the cameras there, as he has a tendency to do. My announcement in open court to have her held will be just that so her family can't come to the plea and had already planned to fly up on the 12th. We do this regularly, so it's not a big deal. And then again, more repeats of the same emails. Yes, what you propose below is fine with me. Attached for your use in preparing Miss Blanchard's is a draft plea agreement, Dan. And then that was the last of those records. So again, there's a lot of repeat information, but the main information is that we see Mike Stanfield sitting there saying, I'm going to take pages out of things that I don't believe are important.
Right.
Now, given the fact that we know that there's been no chromosome microdeletion mentioned ever until it was publicly released by Fancy of all people.
Hey, now.
Not even like somebody running a documentary or an interviewer or a journalist.
She was making a documentary.
Literally nothing like that. It's by Fancy, who just released it to the public because Gypsy signed a form.
It wasn't her that released it to the public.
Records. This is how this happened.
It wasn't her.
This is how somebody gets away with murder. And then again, we've got Mike Stanfield.
Honey, I love you, and I'm about to slap you because it was not Fancy that released those records. Okay, you need to fact check yourself. Fancy didn't release those records to the public. Natasha released those records to the public. And then backed away like a coward. That's what happened.
Just so happens to slowly transform into being Gypsy's manager and her own personal attorney, and they're with her every step of the way. Every documentary that she's ever been in, there's Mike Stanfield right along, you know, supporting Gypsy, taking pictures of Gypsy, putting Gypsy on Facebook, doing all of these things. Not to mention that they were already in Facebook groups about Gypsy Rose Blanchard, trying to get a feel of what the public.
I'm going to say one thing. I don't get into the drama with creators, but one thing I'm going to say. Everyone hates on Fancy because of her delivery, how she says things to people. She can be kind of condescending and stuff like that. But without her having those records to make a documentary, which is what she was trying to do, it never panned out to be anything, but that's exactly what she had in mind, right? And the Blanchards agreed to her having those records, excuse me. They also gave those records to Natasha. I just went over this in my last video. Now, what the hell? Fancy, sorry. Yes, she went and talked about those records on the podcast that she was on. I forgot what it's called. But she is now, I mean, I gotta go back and listen a little bit and see what her part was in the actual delivery of these medical records, because she had to have some part in it. But I know she said on a live stream that I just watched, which I have to say, her friend mentioned me, and I thought that was really nice. Babe.
Who's this?
I don't know. People interrupting my live stream. That's who it is.
Mitch.
Anyways, I don't have a lot of resentment for Fancy. I know a lot of you do, and I'm sorry. You can hate me if you want to. But when it comes down to Fancy, Fancy has been really, really good to me as a creator. I don't feel like I fit in with anybody. Nobody acts like they, except my subscribers, you know, my crew with my subscribers. You guys love me and I appreciate that. But when it comes to other creators, they kind of like push me away. No one really, I'm like the outcast, I guess. I don't try to be. I just try to put out good factual content because I care about this case. I care about this truth actually getting out just to mainstream media. I really do. But and I know Fancy does too. But I also know that people have a hard time with her delivery of things and things like that. And that's why a lot of people like don't want to hear it from her, basically. You know what I mean? Naomi or Natasha was it? I can't remember. Damn, it was an N name. I know that. I might be wrong. Anyway, but anyways, I'm getting distracted by things. I'm sorry. But yeah, the video that's about to become public, you'll see on there that I do use a lot of Fancy's videos because, hear me out, because at the beginning of the case, she's the one that had all the information, and it was all the factual information. Okay, she did a whole live stream on Mike Stanfield, and I was trying to find out the most I could, and I left in the video the stuff that was relevant to the time, and also some stuff about that Ivy Rose grows wild bitch. I was friends with her. Or not, we were not like we were close friends or anything like that. I mean, we talked on the internet, so we were like just internet buddies, whatever. But I got to the point where I was telling her some personal stuff, and then all of a sudden she fucking flips sides, turns her back. She's standing there next to Ken, and I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? Why are you standing there? Okay. I was really upset. But I know that Fancy and her friend Mac or whatever, they're business partners or whatever, they were the ones talking about the situation with Ivy Rose Grows Wild. So I left some of that in there, and then we went on to talk about just a whole bunch of other stuff that had to do with some of the stuff that like is not talked about as much. I was trying to get down to the nitty gritty about Mike Stanfield, but I couldn't find enough information. So that's why I put a lot of Fancy in there, because she knows a lot more than I do. And so she was kind of telling some truths about their family and everything like that. I kind of left in there. So, just because I'm trying to get everything pieced together, and it has to come from the family in the beginning and all the way to the court case at the end. You know what I mean? And I feel like we have a lot of information that's just jumbled all over the place, and no one's put it in order, and my brain is freaking out. I'm trying to just piece it all together. Yeah, and also make sure that we call out the right people, not sit there and call people out because it's a popularity contest. We aren't in high school anymore, okay? I could name some names, but I'm not going to, but I'm really wanting to. Okay. We aren't, okay, how about this? We aren't in high school anymore, Becca. Okay. So there. That's just one.
My want and trying to develop this Munchausen by proxy thing because people were suggesting maybe that was it, knowing that she literally had tests that showed she had real medical issues, things that you cannot fake, by the way.
Yeah.
So
they
again,
did.
I ask you, if you take away the medical abuse because it doesn't exist in this, what are you left with? You're left with a mother and daughter that scammed the system, that
But they
scammed
didn't.
charities out of money to get the girl, Gypsy, Disney trips, free
No.
phones, free laptops, free
That's what I was trying to prove in that video. No. They did not do that. See, at the point that Dee Dee had lived in Missouri in that home, she wasn't trying to screw anything up. She was trying to do better for herself, which is the reason that she when she got the car donated to her, it was a junky car. So she traded it in for a van to be able to drive her daughter around safely. Then after that, she upgraded to the, as Gypsy calls it, the cube car. You know, I forgot what they're called. Anyways, And she owed money on. Hence the reason that there was only $5,000 left in the safe, because Gypsy took, or Dee Dee had taken the other $5,000 to put down on this car. Okay. She was trying to, what I'm trying to get at is she was trying to do good living in Missouri in the house. You know what I'm saying? She wasn't trying to have any bullshit. So at that point, no, there wasn't anything like that going on. There was nothing like, no. It was not a con. For one thing, the Make-A-Wish trip was completely valid because Gypsy Rose had leukemia, okay? And there's just several things that I could go on and on and on about this whole thing. I mean, I'd have to get out my notes over here, which I'm about to do because I'm getting upset. I need to calm down. Give me a second.
Everything, food, cruises, blah, 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 blah. You know, she got to throw a baseball at the baseball game. She got to meet celebrities. She got to do all of these things. So where's that abuse at? When she had a real medicine, although not deadly, she wasn't terminal. She knew that. That's why she didn't take any medication issues, but she knew she wasn't dying like they tried to make
She
it out.
did take medicine with her. Oh my
well
God. Are you listening to yourself? Honey, she did take medicine with her. They found it. I mean, it might not have been all of it, but she did take some. And also, she took her medical card with her and everything. Okay. And she did have leukemia up until the age of 5. She was actually in remission. So, I mean, I'm not quite sure if the leukemia that she had was a terminal one, because I have CLL. I have a longer lasting leukemia. And I have to have treatment for it. And I can have it up until, I mean, I could live into my 70s and 80s with this leukemia. Okay. It doesn't kill you right away. Whereas Gypsy Rose had ALL, which is acute lymphoblastic leukemia. So that's the one I believe that's more aggressive. I'm not quite sure though. Don't quote me on that. I'd have to look it up. But yeah, just trying to compare the two. You know what I mean?
That's why she literally told people she was well aware of what was going on. So when she's sitting there laughing, I haven't even been honest with my attorneys. I guarantee you Mike Stanfield knew about that chromosome microdeletion. I guarantee it. And she would have never admitted it had all of the people that were making videos, content creators saying, hey,
Rod Blanchard knew about it. Obviously, he was in the fucking documentary talking about it. He knew she had the chromosomal disorder. If you listen to his interrogation, he knew.
Hey, you have a microdeletion. She literally, the entire time for years, 10 years, 11 years, sat there and said she's totally unscathed. That is her word. She's unscathed.
Yeah.
She has nothing wrong with her. The only thing she had wrong with her is a lazy eye. We've heard her say it a million times that her only issue was a lazy eye. And then she felt trapped and backed into a corner, which she already knew that she couldn't be retried. But this is what the problem is. This is what we're telling people is there was no medical abuse. She was never one time treated for anything that she didn't actually need.
Yeah.
The only things that she had done to her medically were things that she needed to survive, to have a better quality of life.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't matter. Like all of these examples, all of the things that she said happened, hundreds of surgeries didn't happen. The only thing that she got.
You know why? I'm not to change the subject, but you know why I like this creator? Because she's, you know, I mean, some things I've corrected her on, but it's not like they were huge things or not like she was trying to do that, you know? It was just regular mistakes. But anyway, she seems like she's very kind and empathetic like you and I, Bobby. So that's why I watch her, because I don't mind watching her videos. I don't feel like there's any biased opinion, and I don't feel like she's trying to get me to believe another way of thinking. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I like her. Sorry, I just thought I thought I'd give my 2 cents.
Done was stuff that she needed to live a good life. The only scams that were done were so that she could live a good life, an extraordinary life. You know,
honey,
stuff that her mom, being a single mother, more than likely wouldn't have ever been able to give her. She knew that. That's why she literally said that she was going to continue to scam after her mother was dead. Her mother was an obstacle.
She was the
Look at the
scam.
statistics. The reason why these kids kill their parents is because they view them as an obstacle
Right.
when they're adults. Gypsy wants to pretend she thought she was a child when she knew she wasn't a child. She knew where to find every bit of information. She's still scamming people to this day.
Yep.
So then it shows a copy of her plea agreement, and, you know, we know how it eventually ended, but murder. State amends the charge to murder in the second degree. Defendant to be sentenced on the day, pleaded to 10 years in the Missouri Department of Corrections. Defendant acknowledges that murder in the second degree is a dangerous felony, and by law, defendant will be required to serve 85% of her sentence before becoming eligible for parole.
In fact,
Probation denied. Dismissals in cases not to be filed. Count 2 of armed criminal action was dismissed.
oh, Bobby,
That
you've
was their plea.
Aw.
And I find it, like, not funny, but like ridiculous that people
Thank you for being a member for 12 months, bitch. I feel like I should buy you a present. I love you. Thank you. It means a lot to me. It really, truly does. I love you for being a member. I appreciate it so much. I gotta pin it on here because I'm so grateful to you. And I'm glad you're back too. I really, truly am. I hope you go ahead and watch that. What they said, or anything like that. You know what? I tried to do my research as best as I can.
or anything.
Really?
That was his plea deal. She
I
got
thought his
10
plea
years
deal was like
based on
parole
lies
after
and
so long.
manipulation and scams, and even lying to the DA, who apparently didn't do any due diligence or any sort of other external thing and just listened to the defense attorney because they were making an HBO documentary. So
Yep.
then, of course, so they could capture that sweet, loving moment between Gypsy and her dad, Rod and Christy. So that way they could show this heartfelt moment where a dad had been fighting to be in his daughter's life, for her entire existence, and was just shut out by the evil, wicked, medical Munchausen by proxy mama. You can see here, Kevin and Jeff, you will hear that today. Gypsy Rose Blanchard pleaded guilty. The jail will not receive paperwork on her sentencing until late next week, after July 12th, from Division 4 or 5. From the division, this is by design, and she is to remain in the Greene County Jail until that time. Please do not transport her to the DOC or to another county until you receive orders from the court. Thanks, Dan. And that was so they could get it captured for the HBO special Mommy, Dad, and Dearest.
Fuck.
And then
That's
there's some other
crazy.
emails in here just about going back
They
to like
should
the
have been made to
preliminary,
wait on
nothing
that
really
shit.
of major importance, just kind of scheduling things again,
You know what I mean?
like copies of the same emails. And I'll just briefly go through Nick's because there isn't as much information, and there is a difference if you actually go through and read them. The difference in the way that the attorney for Nicholas Godejohn is speaking with Dan Patterson, totally different than Mike Stanfield saying, I'm going to show you exactly what you need to know about this case and why it proves that Gypsy's innocent and why you need to really consider this before we have a plea. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess that makes him a better attorney for sure, but still makes Gypsy a liar and a scammer and still scamming the public to this day, and that she should have never been released. But
Yep.
here's a copy of Dan Patterson's plea offer. So it says, regarding the state of Missouri versus Nicholas Paul Godejohn, December 2nd, 2016. As you know, of the judge's ruling on Wednesday in the above case means that the trial date will be most likely continued, and the state will incur additional cost and work to prosecute the trial. While I believe this case is certainly prosecutable as a first-degree murder case, and that the state will be able to overcome
You know
Dr.
what?
Franks' testimony if put to test, I also believe a just result can be reached short of a trial. The state, therefore, makes the following plea offer in the above case. Defendant pleads guilty to an amended charge of murder in the second and is sentenced to life in prison. Probation denied. State to dismiss the armed criminal action count at sentencing. The offer is contingent upon the defendant accepting the plea and pleading guilty by December 6th.
Excuse me. Sorry, that was rude.
The state therefore makes the following plea offer in the above case. Defendant pleads guilty to an amended charge of murder in the second and is sentenced to life in prison. Probation denied. State to dismiss the armed criminal action count at sentencing. The offer is contingent upon the defendant accepting the plea and pleading guilty by December 6th.
Excuse me. Sorry, that was. I gotta find it. It's gonna probably take me a second. I'm sorry. Baby, wait for mommy to help you. Here, get up there, babe. Let mommy help you, baby. Let mommy help you. Don't just get up there by yourself. Oh my goodness, 2 baggies. I know we can't eat 2 baggies from there. Oh. Oh my goodness. They sometimes. This one's interesting. Oh, I forgot it was in live streams. That's what I needed to be in. Anyways, let's watch this for a second while I'm gonna eat my bagel.
Hey guys, it's Fancy and you're watching the Good Wives Network, and we just finished a live over on YouTube that you should definitely go check out. It was about 2 hours long. Mac and I were breaking down several of the things that Gypsy Rose talked about on Breeze Live the other night, and some other things that we've looked into and noticed lately. So it was a really good live. I think you guys should go check it out. But I was just sent something by one of our followers, Lupus Warrior, and she is a person who has done crime scene investigation in school. So she broke this case down, and she said she started going through the crime scene photos again and detailing everything like she did when she would have to break down a case in school. And she brought something to my attention that I find rather interesting, and I want you guys to see here. Okay, so what you're looking at here is Dee Dee's bedroom. Obviously, we have the markers up here on the bed. But do you see over there that line of markers? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then there's 5, 6 over here by the door. So there's 6 different ones that are all on that side of the room. Does that make sense to you guys? And those are verified as blood droplets, okay? So she brought up something very interesting. Now, I did find something in her logic that I think could say something else, but let me show you what she did, okay? And then we'll talk about what I think about all this. So now, obviously, this is a different picture, obviously, because the cat is there. But what she did was she showed you that little line of blood drops all the way over there. Okay, so now, here's the deal. Only a person carrying the deep, deep, deep in their right hand could have made those actual droplets on that side of the room. If it had been Nick holding it in his left hand, which he admitted was the hand he used to jab, and it's the hand that he said he only used one hand, it wouldn't make a whole lot of sense for him then to take it and put it in his right hand. And it doesn't make sense that he would walk backwards out of this room to drop all those little things on the right hand side or on that side. What that indicates is that a right-handed person or a person holding the jabber in their right hand walked out and made all these purple little dots right here that are supposed to be blood droplets. So that's a very interesting point. Now, like I said, it could easily be explained that Nicholas maybe stuck it in his right hand as he walked out, and that's how they got there. Or, you know, like I said, he could be walking backwards, which I highly doubt. But I don't think that's logical. If you look at
those
that,
are blood splatter
the
because
placement
Gypsy
of
was in the
those
room stabbing
in
her.
that path, I personally believe that there is a better case for making a statement that somebody was right-handed carrying that jabber out of the room than there is to believe that Nicholas switched hands or.
Now, I believe that was blood splatter because Gypsy was helping and the knife coming back was throwing the blood back. And only reason that I don't know it for sure is because I can't see the actual blood splatters. If I could see them, I could tell you. Because you can look at the droplets and how they, you know, when it hits the floor, there's always little like specks that come out of it. That will tell you how the blood was, like if it was like this or if it was dropped straight down. However, and then I could have been able to tell, but my theory is that's blood splatter because Gypsy Rose was helping this situation.
Walked out of the room backwards, and that's how those droplets were there. I am really confused about these droplets of blood all over through the house and her cleaning up, like he's telling her to clean it up. But here's the thing, if it's a schmurder, why would you be cleaning up the blood? It's not like you're cleaning up the schmurder happened. That would be what you would do if you took the body somewhere else and nobody found the like that.
She's
Thank
literally.
you. No.
She's reading her chat, by the way.
I'm sorry.
She has never.
Why in the world? That's crazy.
We just finished a live over on YouTube that you should.
Here's a good one to watch with what we're talking about. That's a good way to put it. Like, I don't align with her on all of her ideas and things, but there's some of them I do, you know, and so I give her the benefit of the doubt with things, you know what I mean? So, but some people are just like downright hateful towards her just because of a popularity contest. You know what I mean? Sorry, my nose is stuffy and I don't mean to be taking bites so you can hear I'm sorry.
To Dan Patterson. And you're watching the Good Wives Network, and I am live on both platforms right now, so both TikTok and YouTube, because I think that what I have to show you right now is huge. I don't know how they got this information. I don't know why it's not being talked about, but I am in shock right now from what we have. So a request, and I don't know what's involved other than what I'm going to show you tonight. Please start tapping and share this out. This is a very, very important communication. This is communications between Dan Patterson and Mike Stanfield prior to the plea deal. Okay. It's come out today as when I saw it the first. I don't know how long it's been there. I don't know how long Into the Weeds has had this, but this is pretty insane. Okay. I have not read through it. There's 57 pages here. I've not read through all of them, and they're not in order. So you're getting this as a live reaction from me. This is raw. I don't even know what all is in it.
Is this what Morgan was talking about?
That I've read so far in detail is very, very, very upsetting and shocking. It is basically Mike Stanfield admitting to Dan Patterson that he is tampering with the evidence that he is providing him, and Patterson doing absolutely nothing about it. I am literally blown away. I won't be able to show you guys the screen and do all of it at the same time. So if you want to see the actual messages between them, you're going to have to come over to YouTube, because I'm going to share it on my screen on YouTube, guys. Okay. Please tap, share, like everything. Let's get this out there. This is huge. Let's keep tapping over here. Make sure that you share this out. I'm blown away. Absolutely blown away. So let's get into it here. Why is it not adding it to the stage? Okay, there we go. All right. So starting at the top of this 57-page communication between Dan Patterson and Mike Stanfield, it starts on July 21st of 2015. So that's really, really close to the time of the schmurder. Okay. So this is happening right away.
I think this is the same paperwork that Morgan was reading.
I'm just going to scoot that over a little bit so I can see the.
So, huh? I think this is the same one stuff that Morgan was reading. I just wasn't getting it because I don't know, she just made it seem like something she was reading. So I didn't pay too close attention, but now I'm going to.
Much for sharing, liking everything. Okay, guys. Hey, CJ. All right. So the first message is from Mike to Dan Patterson, and it's about the continuance that they're asking for. And it says, Dan, before I go talk to Gypsy, would you be willing to provide the discovery you have so far in exchange for our agreement to reset the prelim? That gives me something to go to her with, and it may help me and you in our discussion on an appropriate resolution of this case. So that's the first communication. Then we go. The second one jumps way far forward, and it's from May 4th of 2016. Again, it's from Mike Stanfield to Dan Patterson, and it's Gypsy's mitigation information. You're gonna be shocked, because something I think I thought did exist in this situation, and neither of these people do anything the fuck about it. Okay, so Dan, sorry it has taken me so long to compile everything. What I will be providing is a large stack of medical records. Each individual record is paper clipped separately to make them easier to read and for you to scan. I highlighted the information I believe is most relevant, and in many cases wrote next to it why that information is inaccurate.
Bobby G, you can comment as much as you want, bitch. Like we're in a private message. You know, I mean, no one else is commenting, so please, girl, give the engagement. No, I love talking to you. So you can comment as much as you want, of course.
Accurate and put the true fact. Now, this is the second email he talks about the medical records, because in the first one that somebody, New Hamster, and I don't remember what her name is over here, something like Hey Bops,
what Bubba?
Hannah Bops, Hey Bops, something or other.
What?
Put out from this FOIA request from Into the Weeds. He's basically saying that he's going to redact certain things, and he's only sending over a portion of this. So this is a second email later, showing. It says, I highlighted the information I believe is most relevant, and in many cases wrote next
I
to it
didn't
why that
even
information
think
is
about
inaccurate
that.
and put the true fact. Also, I have personal statements from both of Dee Dee's sisters, Claudia and Dorla, Rod and Christy Blanchard, a family friend from Louisiana, as well as some photos showing Gypsy when she was younger, several news articles the family located in Dee Dee's stuff dating back to when Gypsy was younger, and various other, no, not that CJ, different CJ, various other items. My thought was that I would turn these over to you and give you a couple of weeks to digest what's in them. Then you, me, and Clay have another sit down to discuss questions you have and fill in gaps. We talked about trying to write out a timeline and explain everything, but given the scope of the time frame, I figured that would take me forever and I would invariably miss something. Having a sit down after you read it all seems to be the simplest procedure.
Wow.
I will have everything brought to you today. There was one thing we found when we went to the scene that I wanted you to have particular knowledge of, because it shows the magnitude of what Dee Dee was capable of. Dee Dee's bedroom was chock full of junk. In a binder stuffed under the bed, we located a blank prescription pad that was stolen from Children's Mercy Hospital. Now you have in Kansas City. Okay, so we know it's Kansas City now. Okay, I understand where it came from. It does not have a particular doctor listed on it. It would have allowed her, however, to obtain any drug information she wanted without having a doctor double check. To illustrate why this is so dangerous, in the mail that arrived after the police were at the house, there was a card from a pharmacy thanking Dee Dee for the donuts that she brought them and telling her how wonderful she is for caring for Gypsy. As far as we could tell, Dee Dee filled prescriptions at numerous pharmacies. Bullshit. And she kept records of what she filled at what locations. I included a photo of one such list. No, he doesn't. So you can see it. In the discovery, there is photos of the closet in the hallway with all the medications in it. This was interesting to me for two reasons. One, there were tons of medications in there for Gypsy, which was on top of hundreds of bottles of meds in the bedroom. Hundreds of bottles of meds in the bedroom. I'm sorry, I saw the crime scene photos. I didn't see hundreds of bottles of meds in the bedroom, but hey, you know, hundreds of bottles of meds in the bedroom, guys.
Hundreds of bottles.
The house was absolute pigsty. However, the medications in that closet were separated and lined up. The only thing then that entire house that was organized was the medical closet. I think I remembered Miss Christy Blanchard saying those same exact words. That's kind of interesting. Oh, Barb, you want to come up? You can come up if you want. Okay, so let's keep going here.
I wish I would have known about it.
Through things, and if I find something that I believe you need to see, I will send it over. But what I have compiled are the main items that give you the picture of what was happening. You mean the picture you wanted to paint of it? And then he includes this picture, and I'll show you the picture. Hold on, let me put my camera so you guys can see the picture. Flip camera. Hey, I'm getting good at this. I actually flipped my camera the right way the first time. Oh, wait. Okay. So this is supposed to be the prescription pad. You know, the prescription pad that Gypsy found in her photo album.
Yep.
That prescription pad.
Yep.
That prescription pad right there. No, but it's not a prescription pad. If you can see it, this is just one prescription. Just one prescription, and it looks like it was wrinkled up and then smoothed out. One prescription, not a pad. Not a pad. And
it's just
one. If they had investigated this, could have told them all about the fraud and what was going on. But, you know, no, they didn't investigate it. They didn't even bother to do anything with it. They just, that wasn't important. According to Arnott, you know, there just was too many rabbit holes that they didn't feel like going
that's
down.
Exactly
because,
what I said
guess they're
too.
Lazy. I don't know. Corruption, lazy.
I mean,
same thing, right?
If all of us can find out the truth of Gypsy Rose's crime in the time that we have, that department sucks. Because all of us investigated this crime and are putting the pieces together. They didn't bother to. They don't give a fuck. Just let the murderer run loose, right? Who gives a shit?
So, only one troll today. Nice. Okay, so the next one is The next one is from Mike to Dan,
Mama, you're being
and
a
it just
troll
says,
right
okay,
now.
I'll
What do you
be
want?
there. Then Mike wants to know on July 21st, why the change. All of a sudden, you sought me out about the continuance just this morning, because he says, no, we don't need a continuance. We can get it done. On Monday, the October 19th of 2015 is when Aaron Lee Carr reaches out. I have been contacted by an Erin Carr from HBO asking me to do an interview for a documentary. She says that she is going to be here during the time of the next pretrial and that she is interviewing you and Sheriff Arnott. I'd just like to verify what I am being told before I decide what to do with it. And so Mike Stanfield to, this is to, hold on, let me see here. Oh, okay. So this is why Dwayne Perry's copied in here too, which is Nicholas's original. I'm sorry. I'm really upset about this. So I'm stuttering, guys. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Take your
this
time.
is from Aaron Verone, and it is to Mike Stanfield. And it is Dwayne Perry is copied on it, Dan Patterson is copied on it, and Gene Hartley is copied on it. It's basically the court received notice by email from media coordinator Gene Hartley of a request by media for still camera, video camera, and microphones for the complex pretrial conference scheduled for January 11th, 2016 at 1:30 p.m. Writing any objections to the court granting the request pursuant to Supreme Court Administrative blah, blah, blah. So basically this is Aaron and them. Aaron and them basically requesting to have cameras in the courtroom, and the court replies back on the same day, copying everybody and telling them that there's no objection. So we've got that. This is January 21st of 2016. Mike, basically, they're talking about Dan Patterson says, I apologize. I was picking a jury yesterday for a week-long trial next week. Could we meet the week of February 1st? And Mike basically just says, forgot that you were handling Huckleberry. That'll work. Could you send me the photos that Hancock took of Go to John and Gypsy's writings in the jail, please? Oh, thank you. Okay, so then next up is an earlier communication, same day. I have not heard back from you regarding my last 2 emails. Mr. Bacon and I are interested in sitting down and speaking with you. We just need to find a date. I have next week except for Monday.
Oh, babe.
Dan, Clayton, and
Okay,
this is on January 14th, same day.
Yes, of
We're
course.
wanting to have a preliminary.
Hi, Bobby J's son. I hope you guys have a good time. Enjoy visiting with him. Sure thing, baby.
Sit down with you to discuss Gypsy. Would you be available to meet today? Monday looks like a holiday. I keep forgetting about that too. How about Wednesday the 20th or Thursday the 21st? I only have court at one time on one of those days. Dan says today's not good for me. How does Monday look for you?
I'm probably going to get off here.
Dan, this is from Mike to Dan on the 19th. I understand there has been some writing in jail involving Mr. Godejohn and Ms. Blanchard, and Detective Hancock has photographed them. Would you be able to get those photos, please? That is insane. How do the authorities to look into Mike Stanfield, or is that even not possible? Oh, no, it's possible. And there are several of us that have been working on this for a while of getting Mike Stanfield investigated by the Bar Association.
Yeah.
It just takes a long time to write up paperwork for that shit and to actually put it all together.
That's
grab
good.
all the evidence and do all of that. So yeah, there is a way to get him investigated for all of this. Both of them, in my opinion, committed things that were unethical and not becoming of members of the court.
Let me know if I can help
so
at
we're
all,
working
Fancy,
on
if
that.
you see this live. I'll help.
Okay, so not heard back from you. When would you be available? Basically, they're just trying to get a meeting here. I'm trying to scroll.
Go away.
Okay. Okay, here's the beginning of the thing about the medical records. Okay, so here's the one that was put out, that everybody put out. This is Dan, and this was from April 7th of 2016. Okay, so Dan, most of the records that I received were provided in PDF format. I am not able to single out pages in a digital format. Why would you need to? Wouldn't you just send the entire PDF over? I don't understand why you wouldn't just send the entire PDF over.
Exactly.
It's digital. Why wouldn't you just send over the whole damn thing,
Exactly.
dude? I don't understand. Because you couldn't cherry pick if you did that,
Exactly.
right? That's why you couldn't cherry pick if you did that. So most of the records I receive are provided in PDF format. I'm not able to print out single pages in digital format. What I am doing is printing off the pages that I believe are relevant. Hello, Discovery, anyone? Rules of Discovery, anyone? Anyone? Sheriff or not? Anyone? Rules of Discovery? No? Oh, okay. Most of the time, the pertinent information is contained in the doctor's and nurses' notes. So don't pay attention to the lab results, guys. Those don't really matter. It's just the doctor's notes and the nurse's notes that matter. Most of these records, however, also come with pages of test results, pulse, and BP listings, etc. I don't figure that information is extremely useful. In an attempt to cut that down and focus you in on the important information,
the boy deserves it. He has
most of the pages
boo-boos
that contain the medical minutia, and then highlighting and writing explanatory notes on the actual pages I will provide to you. You say what? Excuse me? You don't think the findings, the test results from the actual visits matter to the person trying to prove that this is MBP?
For real.
Huh? What?
Exactly.
Are you kidding me? Okay.
I know, it's like, what can you do?
I just wanted you to be aware that when you receive this, there will be pages missing.
Oh.
I have not cut out any documents because I believe they are negative for Gypsy. They are simply pages full of unnecessary medical information.
Oh, sure. Wow.
The items that I am providing and highlighting, I am making every effort to ensure that you get the full document containing the comments and information so that the context is included. Oh, nature lover, I am so peed off.
Hey,
if you
nature
would
lover.
like a complete digital copy of all the records, I will be more than happy to provide that. I just want to focus you in on the pertinent information and make it as user-friendly as I can given the volume of the records.
Wow. What are you
tampering with evidence? Tampering. With evidence. Okay, so here's more about Aaron doing the thing. Monday, May 16th of 2016. Dan, I apologize for the tardiness of this response. I actually just requested and received a copy of her jail records. It hit my desk Friday, which is why I was waiting to respond. I will have a copy made for you and brought over tomorrow. I think our legal assistants have already made their afternoon run today. There are 174 pages of records. It also includes records from the Waukesha County Jail. So then there's a message from Dan to Mike on 5/11 of 2016. Mike, thanks for the mitigation packet. I've attached a medical release form that I would ask you consider having your client sign so that I can confirm her lack of actual medical issues with the jail through records and or visiting with the jail medical staff for the purpose of contrasting with the records you provided. Thank you, Dan. Kimmy, not from me. I'm not going to put them all out. There's no reason to. I don't need to put them all out. I've proven my points. I've put out everything that proves that that was never Munchausen by proxy. I proved that she had every single one of the conditions that Dee Dee ever said that she had. And I don't feel that the general public needs every single test.
Right.
That's not the case here, though.
Right.
The prosecuting attorney should have had all of that for sure.
Yes.
So they can't release them. They can't release them because she didn't sign a consent for them to release them. So they'll never be able to release them. They had to redact them from the pages that they garnered, and there was only about 100 and some odd pages that they garnered, somewhere between 100 and 200 pages. So that's from Dan to Mike. Okay, so here they're on Wednesday, June 22nd of 2016. Dan, we need to get a time scheduled to meet on Gypsy. It seems that the current fly in the ointment is Clay. He tells me that this week the only time he can meet is tomorrow after 3. I can also do Wednesday and Thursday of next week as well. Let me know. Hopefully we can come to an agreement and close this out on July 12th. Also, Ms. Carr, the HBO director, wishes to do an interview with Gypsy while she is here for that July 12th hearing. She has no idea that a plea may be happening. This is just so happens to be the date she chose a month ago to come and do this. I've been putting this off as long as possible. The punchline is that the sheriff is not responding to her request to have access to the jail for filming. The only other option would be for the judge to allow the use of his courtroom after the hearing. I just wanted to let you know that I was going to approach the judge about this. Okay. Then Mike, from Mike to Dan, again, Dan, on May 26th of 2016, would you be in a position to meet next week to discuss her plea again? Wednesday, June 29th of 2016, from Mike to Dan. I would prefer the 19th. My client's father would be able to be present. He's supposed to ship out for the month on the 20th.
Damn it.
Judge, so this is from him to the judge
Baby
as well.
Tates, I love you.
From Patterson to the judge. And he was carbon copies, so he's responding. The pretrial is set during my family vacation. I had intended to have someone handle it for me, but there is an issue that has arisen that requires me to be present. Could we please move this PTC by 1 week to Wednesday, July 20th in the afternoon, or Tuesday, July 19th, but not Monday, July 18th? I'll be out of town next week at training. Thank you for your consideration, Dan. So Dan was going on a trip. Mike says, I think we can do that. Let me look at my calendar tomorrow and get back with you. Okay. So Dan says to Mike, I have wanted to meet you again before my annual National Guard training, but have not had a chance to look over the jail records you recently sent over. With the holiday and trying to be in a position to be out of the office June 1st to the 17th, I don't think I can get it done before I leave. May we set a day now to meet the week of June 20th, mid to late week? And then that was Mike responding, I have to get back with you of whatever. And then there's another one from Mike to Dan on the 26th of 2016, May 26th of 2016. Would you be in a position to meet next week to discuss her plea again? Okay, this one was really interesting to me too. This is the other one that I found on Reddit. It says, it's from Mike Stanfield to Dan Patterson on June 14th of 2016. So almost 1 year exactly.
Babe.
No, actually 1 year exactly to finding the body.
Never mind. I got it.
Dan, my understanding was that you and I were on somewhat of the same page as to Gypsy's involvement in the frauds her mom was committing, especially in light of the records I provided showing her mom was doing this when Gypsy was a child. The sheriff's statements leave the impression that Gypsy was masterminding these frauds with her mother the entire time. That is the exact opposite of the discussion you, Clay, and I had less than 8 weeks ago. If we are not working towards a mutual resolution, please let me know immediately because I have a lot of trial prep to do then. Mike Stanfield. Yeah, you would have, wouldn't you, Mike? Yeah, because she would have been found guilty, wouldn't she? Yeah, she would have. Because you knew your mucking medical records were going to frickin' fall apart. No, Dan never even tried to prosecute. Not at all. Nope. Nope. Mike to Dan plea date. Can we do it the 19th? Rod Blanchard can most likely be there that day, but the 20th is the day he's supposed to go out. He might be able to push it back to be there the 19th, but the 20th is a big stretch. This is just another one of them talking about whatever it is of when's good for them. That's Clate again. That's the same page for me and Clate. Yes, Judge Holden is available. All our jury trial has gone away for that week and nothing else is. We do have a quick thing set. Okay, there we go.
The hell is that noise?
I'm looking. Okay, more to the judge about that. Here he's asking for special treatment for Gypsy and her family. Mike to Dan Patterson. I texted you back. We can do the 5th. I will probably ask Holden to keep her here. That's the judge. An additional week or so because the family can't come earlier because their 17-year-old daughter is having a tonsil. Oh, great, Emily. It like didn't go. Ow! Shit. It's okay. I hope I didn't cut myself. All right. There you go. I love you too. Is having a tonsillectomy. So basically he's asking, can she stay in the jail for an extra week here close up to where they are so that, you know, we can have them here and they can see their daughter and they can do all the filming that HBO wants to do for all of us, you know, wink, wink. Oh, this is interesting. Okay. So Mike Stanfield to Dan Patterson on the 30th of June of 2016, family visit and HBO interview. Dan, actually the thing was deceiving its mother, tried to derive the doctors and was the one who benefited from its frauds. Exactly. Avel. Okay, Dan, with the plea being moved up to the 5th, I'm going to make a request to the judge, but I wanted to speak with you first so we're on the same page. I may have told you this already, but Rod and Christy cannot be here for the 5th. Their 17-year-old is having a tonsillectomy, I think that day or with a day or two of that. They are flying up for the 12th. I am going to ask Judge to hold Gypsy until the 13th so they can have a visit with her. In that same vein, you know HBO wants to do their interview with her. We have already received Judge's blessings to use the courtroom. Frankly, I think that will cause less of a fuss than the jail. I think it would actually be a safety issue for Gypsy to have all that going on in the jail. In Judge's courtroom, no inmate will be the wiser. I'm going to contact Judge to reaffirm that he's okay with all that. You okay with me telling him it's a plea, but we're trying to keep it quiet so he knows why all the changes. Plus, he's going to need to be prepped for that so he isn't surprised and says something with all the cameras there, as he has a tendency to do so. My announcement in open court to have her held will just be that her family can't come to the plea and had already planned to fly up on the 12th. We do this regularly, so it's not a big deal. Yeah, it's not a big deal to let HBO come in and do all of this. And, you know, it's not a big deal at all. And this is just, you know, who cares? It's a plea, but we're trying to keep it quiet. Yeah, because you didn't want Dwayne Perry to know that you were pleading out the other defendant, right? Because that would have screwed up for them. Yeah. Family vacation again. They're talking about the family vacation. Tuesday, More of just that. Okay, Dan responds and says, yeah, what you proposed below is all fine with me. Attached for your use in preparing Miss Blanchard is a draft plea agreement. Did we get the draft? No, we did not. We did not get the draft of the plea agreement. There's lots of duplicates. Okay, and that's it. No, we did not. I cannot believe that he just felt it was okay to redact all the medical records and not include the test results that proved that the actual tests that were run were actually real and proven. This all feels like a backdoor deal, just a backdoor deal to me. And I'm shocked. I don't even know what to say right now. If anybody wants to hit the box, please do, because I'm a little speechless. And but they didn't think it was important, Jane. They didn't think that was important. Medical stuff, the fraud, that wasn't important. It's only the crux of their entire fucking case that it was all MVP and this was self-defense, right? And she was being abused. But it wasn't important. They weren't, those things weren't important to the investigators. And
all right, guys, I've been live for a while. I don't even know if anyone's still, but I appreciate you guys for watching. Please like the live if you can. That would mean a lot to me. So this week, probably Wednesday, I'll let you know a time. We're going to do I'm going to do each one looks with every color. It'll be so much fun. It's going to be a long one, but it's going to be so much fun. All right. So I will see you guys for a great Father's Day. I hope he'll love you forever. I'm just